Hello everyone, and welcome. My name is Dan Prisco-Buxbaum. I'm the president of Paleo Gaming, and I'm the lead developer of Omega Horizon, a sci-fi tabletop role-playing game set in a dystopian future. In order to raise the limited remaining funds to fully illustrate the core rulebook, we will be launching an upcoming Kickstarter campaign, which you can learn more about on our website at omega-horizon.com or through our various social media accounts. But today, I'll be serving in a slightly different role. Today, I'll be serving as Game Master, running a campaign called the Alabaster Throne. I'm joined by Jessica Lynn Parsons, Avril Illijay, and Heather Drew to showcase how the game is played and to introduce you to one of the many stories that can be told within the universe of Omega Horizon. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
Woo! Hi! Hi, everybody! Hi. I am Jess Parsons. I am playing Scarlet, who is an android smuggler / spy. Avril, who you playing?
Hi, everybody. I'm Avril Illijay. First and foremost, Dan, thank you so much for the invite. Huge sci-fi fan, so I'm really stoked to get started here. I'm playing Celica Riggs, a engineer / hacker. Ooh.
Hi guys, and I am Heather Drew, an actress, and I am playing Zara Complex, who is Paraboran. She has 4 arms. She's all tatted up. I don't know if you can see these. She tats up her scales. 4 eyes. She's formerly from the Vanadian Union, and now she's of the Free Colonies.
Woo!
And she's an Inquisitor.
Badass.
Today's adventure begins on the world of Bandor, located in the Sinora cluster. Bandor is home to a megacorporation, a Yamato megacorporation known as Aladyne Systems Incorporated. Martin Alabaster, the CEO and founder of Aladyne, built the company to produce cutting-edge tech augmentation and cybernetic enhancements. His daughter, Drea Alabaster, is a bright young programmer and philanthropist who was beloved by the board of directors. In Martin's advancing years, he became greedy and paranoid, believing that the board was seeking to overthrow him. His decisions became more and more harmful to the company's future, and his fears became a self-fulfilling prophecy. The company's shareholders became concerned, and the board of directors held a special vote, ousting Martin as CEO and naming his daughter as the new acting CEO, effective immediately. However, before the transition to power officially occurred, Drea Alabaster was found murdered, her body washed up in the industrial district. Rumors began to circulate as to who could be responsible, the most likely culprit being the soon-to-be ousted Martin Alabaster. However, the young woman's death was ultimately attributed to Matthias Werner, the chairman of the board of directors of Aladyne. Matthias was an old family friend of the Alabasters, and while naming this culprit ultimately satisfied the Yamato Protectorate forces, cries of foul play echoed through the quantum net due to the well-documented amicable relationship between Werner and Drea. In fact, Drea often referred to Werner as Uncle Matthias, and she spent years doing humanitarian work alongside Matthias's wife, Gemma Werner. 5 years passed. People began to forget about the murder, but the quantum net buzzed with rumors of a cyberspace pocket secreted away called the Twilight Garden, a place where Martin Alabaster, who had been given the derivative name the Alabaster King, kept his most prized possession. What could this possession be? Most hackers assumed it had to be codes to secret vaults containing lucrative assets, maybe the keys to Martin's vast fortune. Many sought to find this garden, none succeeded. While all this was happening, a smaller story was taking place. Ironically, the individual who came closest to learning of the location of this Twilight Garden was an individual by the name of Celica Riggs. Celica was a low-level programmer in the robotics division of Aladyne. she stumbled upon a contract that Martin Alabaster had executed with a mysterious company known as the Osiris Project. Formed as a joint venture between Aladyne and several other prominent megacorporations, the Osiris Project's primary function was in performing research on ways to create functional immortality by uploading the consciousness of organic beings into computer constructs. Rumors of this project were not uncommon in the dark corners of the quantum net, but the whispers of those who had come to be known as Ghostwalkers were often dismissed. Celica inquired about the Osiris Project, only to be terminated from the company days later, with the top brass citing misuse of company assets and lack of productivity. In the aftermath of being terminated by Aladyne, Celica opened a small street tech shop on Bandor, where she was raised. She made a business installing discrete tech augments, gene modifications, and cybernetic enhancements to individuals at reduced rates, which were untraceable. Through this business, Celica came to meet a Parboran by the name of Zara. Zara met Celica following an altercation which left her android companion, whom she called Tinka, a Yamato term for friend, badly damaged. Zara had been hunted for some time by an assassin named Oko, who sought to destroy Tinka for reasons that Zara did not know. Tinka was given to Zara as part of a bid by Aladyne to gain access to the as-of-yet untapped market of the Vanadium Union. Zara was a person of import among the Parborans. She was born with significant psionic potential and as such was chosen to eventually succeed her grandmother as the oracle of her tribe, the matriarchal leader of her species. For that reason, Aladyne chose to gift her with this android. Little did Zara know, Aladyne had a more sinister intent. They sought to later recapture the android, downloading its memory banks to gain vital insights into the Parboran culture, and the Union by extension. However, Zara rebelled against her cultural responsibilities, seeking to carve out her own destiny among the stars. When she left, it rendered the android's purpose moot. This angered Aladyne's top brass, who were not to be trifled with. Unable to repair the android alone, Celica enlisted the aid of a friend, a man named Oran. Oran was member of a fringe organization known as Ali, one legion leading intergalactic elite. The focus of Ali was to blur the lines between organic and inorganic life by pushing the boundaries of cybernetic enhancement and fighting for the autonomy of androids and other artificial forms of life. However, while cybernetic enhancements and the use of cyberspace applications are fairly common among the middle class and wealthy, the less economically fortunate of society often are deprived of these creature comforts. Therefore, they do not fully understand them and may even fear them. Further, while drones are a part of daily life, androids, advanced, complex artificial life forms, are often owned only by either the very wealthy or are found in the employ of megacorporations. Everyday people may never have dealt with an android, or have dealt with them in a very limited capacity, and many do not recognize constructs as being truly sentient. In order to help Ali's cause, Oran built an android by the name of Scarlet, who he programmed to be a smuggler pilot. Scarlet made a career of stealing cybernetic tech, though she thinks of it more as repurposing, and selling it cheaply to street tech dealers who have agreed to sell the tech at steep discounts to those who could not normally afford them. This practice has led Scarlet to attracting the attention of some of the mega corporations whose merchandise she has stolen, who do not take kindly to her predation of their revenue streams. While there is no love lost between the mega corporations and Scarlet, she has won friends among the commoners of the planet Bandor, which serves as her home base of sorts, where she lives with Oran, who she has developed a romantic relationship with. Unfortunately, the assassin, Oko, who was tasked with eliminating Tinka, tracked Zara and Tinka to Celica's shop. While Celica and Zara were out picking up supplies to repair Tinka, Oko burned the shop down, killing Zara's trusted android companion and the roboticist Oran. Fearing further reprisal and believing Aladyne was not yet finished with her, Celica convinced Zara to join her in fleeing from Bandor. The only person she could think to go to who could help them escape undetected was the smuggler pilot, Scarlet. And so begins our adventure.
Whew, here we go.
So, we begin with Celica and Zara meeting Scarlet in a seedy bar. This bar is sort of a standard hangout place for Scarlet, where she meets a lot of the clientele that she works with.
Do I walk in and see her, or do I just have like a place that I go to that I'm very familiar with because we conduct business together quite often?
Yes, Scarlet is a creature of habit, as many androids are, so she sort of has a table that's like her table when she comes here. And because she is well liked among the clientele, the bartender always makes sure that that table is made available when she's around.
Okay. I look over at Zara and say, look, just like every time we go and talk to these people, every time we go talk to anybody, I just want to say, be careful, watch my back, I watched your back, it will be fine.
I will protect you, always.
Good. I will also protect you in any way I can with this stupid fleshy human body. Okay, let us go, yeah?
Let's go.
Okay. And I approach Scarlet, the usual Scarlet table.
I think this is a good opportunity for you all to describe how your characters look, too.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Nice.
So you see Scarlet sitting at her table. She is in a full leathered pilot gear, pretty covert, all black, and she looks passing human for sure. This android is well built, and she has red hair, long red hair, but still looks a bit androgynous, and a little rough around the edges.
Okay. And I'm a Paraboran, so I go up to the bar with all 4 of my neon blue arms, put them on the table.
We did show that earlier. This is what the Paraborans look like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm all tatted up, so I have all of my scales have been black light neon inked in. I also have a forked tongue, and I go up to the table, and I have a voice box that doesn't quite always work. It was jury rigged by Celica, so it kind of spazzes out, and I mean to go, hello, but instead I go, oh, hello
Oh,
there.
wow.
It's being weird again. And then I walk up and like just smack the box real quick, like a little tap. Boop, boop.
Oh.
Don't worry, it's fine. The way I made it should be operational, no problem.
Okay.
And as I said that, you see someone you're very familiar with. Hair slicked back on the sides. You can tell like definitely got a lot of like cybernetic enhancements done to themselves. The eyes have little looking like crosshair things with little circles around it. The top of her head is braided, not in a cornrow, but just like random braids just to keep things out of her face because she doesn't have time to deal with her hair. She has time to fix shit. That's what she does. And wearing a flight suit, like a navy but darker olive-ish combination flight suit, and just has a toolbox and a backpack with some 3 drones on it. Hi,
Hey.
Scarlet. Yes. Oh my goodness, your model. I'm very happy it's operational. I wish I was an android myself. But so here's the thing: we need to get out of this world. It seems like we're being hunted of some sort by. Is it Oko? You know of this one?
No, but if this Oko is responsible for the fire, then I'm in.
I believe so. So look, we have no home currently, so we just need to get out of here before anything happens to us. Can you please assist?
Yeah.
Don't make it
what do you need?
worthwhile, okay?
We're taking
I'm a-
along the Paraboran with the broken voice box, though?
Yes, this Parboran is my assistant to the shop. So I will be needing them with me at all times. They're also a very big pongo of mine.
Yeah. We're a kind of a package deal, and not only that, but like, I'm really good if we get into a trap and I can go into a chameleon mode and I could just sneak around. I'm stealthy. Trust me.
Oh.
I have capabilities.
Well, to be honest with you, I was part of a team, Owen and I, and he was the stealthy one, so I would appreciate having that part of the equation back, if that's something that you are good at. I mean, this voice thing, is that just happens? Silica, you can't fix that?
Don't worry, I fix it, okay?
Usually your stuff is great. What's the deal?
Oh, well, this one I just happened to pull off, and, there wasn't as many credits, so what I did was just fix it temporarily, just to do what I need to do, and then it's installed.
Can you take a look at my eye, actually? This one just keeps kind of flashing between green and blue and brown, and I don't know it's like a glitch that's happening. Can you just...
I can definitely look at your eye if you would like me to do any sort of diagnostics for right now, yes.
Yeah.
But maybe...
I could just shake you. I just got
all right.
But as you know, I'm very much familiar with ships and fixing things, so you get my benefit as well. And this time I won't charge that high.
All right. Well, I feel like there's a couple of favors between us that haven't quite been paid through, so I'm sure we can work something out.
I'm sure we'll settle the book sometime, yes. But please, get us out of here, please.
I don't think you understand the dire urgency that we're in. We need to get the heck out of town. They blew up.
Question for Game Master Dan.
Sure.
When you mentioned the Twilight Garden in the intro, is that something that our characters know of as well?
That is something that Celica's heard murmurings of the Twilight Garden. Celica, I imagine, spends a significant amount of time sort of slumming in cyberspace. She seems to have disdain for her organic body, look for a more digital or construct-based life. So it's something that she's sort of the conspiracy theorist who is always looking for more about ghost walkers and things like that. So the Twilight Garden is in that same vein of the conspiracy theorists. They talk about these, common talking points, and that's one of the common talking points.
And as far as the fire and Oko's involvement in it, what is the level of understanding for our characters in that?
So you don't have any proof that it was Oko, but Zara is pretty convinced it was Oko because he's been on their trail as they've hopped from planet to planet. And the three of you all have bad blood between you and Aladdin in some capacity, so you're all convinced that this was all a targeted attack against each and every one of you individually for reasons you may not understand why.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what you understand of the situation.
Game Master question. Does Scarlet know that her creator has been blown up at this point? Does she know he was in there?
She already mentioned who might be responsible for the fire, so she understands it. You don't necessarily know her feelings on the matter. I don't know how much Scarlet wears her emotions on her sleeve or not. And again, as I mentioned, people don't always have a full understanding of what androids can and can't feel or process, or if they process it in the same way as humans. So that may have to come out during play.
So I only know that Oko is potentially involved, and that this fire exploded all of Celestial Rigs.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, you came to the right girl. I've got a ship.
Definitely. So, thank you.
You guys just using me for my ship, or do you actually enjoy my company? Come on. Be honest.
I mean, there is a reason why we continue to do a business together even though my shop exploded, right?
Well, it's because I have a ship.
No, it's because you're an android, and I totally want to do some more experiments and upload any of my new software and designs just to make sure that everything works for the cyberspace.
I have never met a human more excitable than you.
I'll take that as a compliment.
All right, so, you guys have any, cash for this drink?
How much? Sure.
Oh, come on, guys. You want to get on my ship, you gotta pay for my drink.
Fine. You know, for someone who doesn't rely super hard on or any organics at all, sure. Here, I'll toss 1 credit and hope that's enough.
I'll toss in more.
You'll settle up with the bartender.
It's enough. All right.
Also, I asked for fuel, and I drink that.
Fuel?
If it works for the machines, I don't see why it can't work for me.
All right. It seems your understanding of your own organic body is a little limited here. You're not throwing up after drinking that?
No.
All right. Cybernetics have come a long way, but I think we haven't quite reached the esophagus yet.
I would definitely like it to get further.
Yeah. All right, let's go before we draw more attention. So I'll head out and lead him out to the ship.
All right, so your ship is a Tyro-class light freighter known as the Scarlet Talon.
Oh, shall we show it?
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and show the Scarlet Talon?
Let me pull that up here. Is this the civilian light freighter?
This is the Tyro-class.
Tyro-class. Yeah. Is it that?
That's the one.
All right.
Yeah. And you currently have it parked in the nearby starport, which is in sort of the commercial district of Crown City, which is where you all are. The commercial district is pretty well gentrified in this area. So the way Crown City is set up, you have these towering spires in the center of the city. And as it radiates out, you get to the commercial district and then the residential district. And then the outskirts of the city are comprised of large industrial complexes, factories, and also scrap yards. And that's also where the lower income housing for the city is located, the more seedier areas of town. So the bar you were just in is actually sort of sandwiched between the industrial sector and the scrap yards, but the only, not the only, but one of the only space docks in the city is located in the commercial sector. It's pretty much where all of them are located. This particular space dock is, or starport rather, is actually visible from a lot of the city because of this large glass dome that's located over it, meant to give this ample view of the sky.
Nice.
So you make your way there, and it's pretty much standard affair as you enter, and you have to go through customs and all that stuff. They don't give you a hard time. And you make it to the docking clamps where your ship is located, and you can board the ship.
Okay. Any last words?
Yes, your magnetic docking clamps, they definitely need some sort of work. They look a little bit too, I don't know, clunky, but don't worry, I can definitely assist with that.
I walk up to her and I clap her my hand on her shoulder. This is why I keep you around.
Thank you so much.
Zilia?
Zara.
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 Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. What, you want to say anything?
Yeah. I think that Celica will get the ship ready and we'll head off, but before we go, I just have something. It is such a breath of fresh air to be with you because I can't read any of your thoughts, and Celica just continually freaks out every 5 seconds, and I really sometimes just don't know how to take it. Oh.
But they're very informational, so.
Oh, she can hear us? Oh, I'm sorry, Celica. I thought you were starting to.
No, you know what? No, the sound carries so far in this ship. I just gotta let you know right now. If you're on one end, they're gonna hear you from the front.
Just letting you know too, the speakers are still up. Just so I can continue communication as I'm walking around the perimeter and making sure everything's totally fine.
Yeah, if you want to have a private conversation, you gotta go to the bathroom wing. That's the only place that we don't have.
I'll deactivate that one now.
Yeah. What? That wasn't already? Oh.
It's deactivated, I got it.
Okay, well, I don't like hearing that was on the entire time I've been on this ship, but glad it's off now. Okay, where are we headed?
So while the three of you are talking, you're interrupted by the sound of a blaring siren.
Oh no.
Over the starport's audible system. And you can hear the sound at the end. So basically the way these docking platforms work is it's almost like a tunnel leading to the landing platform for you to be able to take off and then leave the planet. And there are these blast doors you can see closing at the end of the tunnel. And you start to hear this repeating message over the speakers that they're evacuating the starport because a bomb threat has been called in. Why don't you do a quick computer's data retrieval, Celica, to try to look at the quantum net and see what's going on?
Will do. All right, so data retrieval specifically?
If it applies, yeah. So if you don't have any specialty, it doesn't matter, but if you have a specialty in data retrieval, then that would apply.
Okay. It's okay, I got high shit, so maybe it'll work. So that's 5... because computers.
So your computers is 5.
Yeah, my computers is 5,
and this is
I keep 5.
Based, so you keep 5 because you have 5
Oh yeah! Oh, great. Okay. So 6, 4, 10, 13 total.
Okay. So you very easily find the newscast that's happening outside of the starport, and they're just talking about like, oh, this is standard protocol. You can see people being led out of the starport. You can see that the YPF, the Yamato Protectorate forces, are entering the starport. But are you with Zara right now?
No, I'm just double checking a few things. I can head back in and start looking at the computer system just to make sure everything is okay.
You don't necessarily have to sit in. You can also just send the feed to the cockpit so
cool.
They can see what's going on. So you quickly send the feed to the cockpit. It shows up on the holo display within the cockpit.
Heads up!
Zara, you recognize in the background while all these people are milling about and the YPF are going in, you recognize the assassin Oko making his way into the starport.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
And I scream to Celica, Celica, get inside right now!
Alright, going in, just okay. And I run in.
What's going on?
So if you look over there at the screen, it shows, a lot of YPF, like, bullshit people coming in, and there is Oko. We need to get out of here now.
Shoot him right now. Where's my gun?
Oko's coming after us. Okay. I'm gonna go into the storage locker. See if there's anything in there.
Scarlett's gonna pull out her submachine gun and start to walk towards the starport entrance.
Now, Zara, you remember the fight that rendered Tinka basically a pile of slag, and Oko is not a joke. And you can guess that the YPF forces, like, he didn't sneak past them. They were going in together, which means he has a sizable force with him. You figure getting into a shootout at the OK Corral here with him is probably not wise.
And I really am like, there's no way we can outgun him. We have to get out of here. We have to get him out of here now.
You don't understand. You don't understand. Orin was the only thing I had. If I have to go down with this fight, I will.
So I don't want to go down in this fight, saying with my speakers on. Get your ass back here. And you know what? We're gonna fight them like when we're better. So let's get the fuck out of here. By the way,
he's right here. He's right here.
We can't fight them. Look at the YPF. They're right behind them. We cannot take this. There's 3 against 14. Do you not see that? The odds are not great. Also, I just want to let you know, life support, artificial gravity, maneuvering thrusters, and your engines and docking clamps all ready to go. So I can just lift them up right now and we can just get out of this starport and just go, please.
All right, she lowers her gun and looks out and says, I'm coming back for you. All right, let's go.
I turn on the speakers. Me too, asshole.
All right, Celica, make a computer's code-breaking skill roll to disengage the starport's clamps on the ship so that you'll be able to fly out of here.
Cool. So that's the code breaking?
Yep, so
They're
computers...
keeping us in?
Yes.
Those mother...
Yeah, that's part of lockdown protocol.
Motherfucker.
Lock in.
Okay, let me code break the shit out of this. All right. Oh, look at all my mods, motherfucker. Let's go. Okay. So roll 5 here, keep 5, and then... Ooh, okay. So let's see. 12, 13, 14, plus 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20! All right, I got it.
Perfect. All right, so with that roll, you are able to disable the locking clamps and disable the blast doors leading into the starport, but not out.
I'm almost there.
How can I help?
Okay. Do I know that if this is something I need to do in terms of code breaking, or if it needs to be something forceful?
Looking at the code, you're not sure you will be able to successfully open the blast doors leading out. But doing some quick math and looking at a schematic you pull up of the spaceport, you think that there will be a less comfortable but viable option for quickly exiting the spaceport.
What are our options, Celica?
So it looks like we may have to blast ourselves out of the blast doors.
Or the
Or
other
option
to fly in reverse out of the docking bay into the atrium and out the large glass dome.
You're not gonna like this, but I trust in your skill. We may have to fly out in the reverse into the atrium and out of the other exit. So I believe you, so don't worry.
All right, you know what? Look, my ship can take it, but I made a deal with the people at the starport to keep my ship here, and they gave me a deal, and I just don't want to fuck up their space, you know?
You know, it's either they get fucked up or we get fucked up.
I just don't want to burn any bridges. Look, can we try?
Listen.
All right, let's try blasting it first. Zara?
I could go in the... Do you have any big guns on this ship?
Yeah, I got lots of big guns on the ship.
Like a turret or like something I could blast the door with? Come on now, I'm new here.
Yeah, yep, I do.
All right, where would that be?
Down the hall, to the right, take another right, take a left, and then hit in the punch code 4373.
You couldn't have made that a little easier. All right.
Look.
So you go racing through the corridors and you find the panel to punch in the code, and a door whooshes open, and leading to a ladder where you can climb up into
you have to climb a ladder to get to your guns.
Mounted to the top of the
like Star Wars.
Like one hand down the rung of the ladders with the gun slung over your shoulder.
And I'm really short, so I like sit on my hand so that I can like breathe shit.
Alright, so you head up and the weapon whirs to life, and you see an augmented reality overlay show up where it can like target specific targets and stuff.
Okay, and I initiate the guns, turn them on, focus myself, and go. It's now or never. And I attempt to do the turrets. Can I roll for combat? Can I roll to try to hit?
Yes, so you're going to make a computer's, a combat rather, turrets roll. Combat turrets.
5 turrets is agility or wit, so let's do 5. 10, 11, 12. 19.
Yeah! Get it,
Okay.
Zora! Yeah!
So I have a game question now.
Yes.
Because this is different from other RPGs that I've played, what's the kind of general range of success on a roll? Is there a blanket success? Like if it's a 19, do I know it's good? How does that work?
Yes and no. So there's typical target, we call them TNs, target numbers, which range from as low as 5 to as high as 30. But most rolls will fall in the 10 to 15 range. So a 19 is pretty good. You'll have a hard time beating more complex things with that, but that's a pretty good roll. When making attacks, you're going after defense, which for a character is equal to their agility times 3, typically. So looking at your own agility, you'll be able to determine what your defense is, and if you'd be able to hit someone like yourself.
9. Mine's 9. So that's my defense, essentially.
That's your defense. Someone has to hit a 9 or better on their roll to hit you. But your character is built with a lot of damage reduction, so you're fairly easy to hit, but you're harder to damage.
Damage reduction is 8, so if she rolled a 19, 8. I would subtract an 8 from it?
No, you roll your damage separately. So there's the attack roll to hit, and then if they successfully hit, the damage is based on the weapon you're using.
Okay.
They have set damage.
So I would take that 8 out of their damage on me.
Correct.
Got it. Cool.
Correct.
All right.
All right, so Zara, sitting in the turret for the ship, blasts away, and her shots are right on target on the blast door, but your plasma cannon, while it definitely slags some of the door, it's not able to open up a large enough opening for the ship to get through.
Okay, and I realize that it's not doing that much damage, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to telepathically speak to Celica. So our code word is jackhammer, and go, I will cause a distraction. Get ready to go backwards and blast through this place. And I start to write bitch on the gun. Just in blood.
Jackhammer, I'll relay the information. And then I push boop, speaker. All right, Captain, it's time to get out of here.
Alright, Scarlet gets situated in the seat.
Also, there is a message for you coming from my assistant Zara. If you look over there, top left, thank you.
What? How did you have time to install? Okay.
It's you see the view words, but in bullets, it says bitch.
That's from Zara.
It's a good use of ammunition. Don't worry, I'll fix it.
Alright. Alright, say the word.
Blast off! Remember, go backwards into the atrium and get out the top.
So she didn't shoot the door?
The door, blasting through things is not the best way to get out. Otherwise, you'll scrape your hole off and we're fucked.
Never gonna be able to show my face in Crown City again. Alright, let's go.
Don't worry, we can fix your face.
And I activate the controls and I start to shoot us backwards.
All right, so the ship rises up, thrumming to life as the engines engage. And the engines of the Tyra class actually swivel, so it rocks a little bit as you rise. Go ahead and make a piloting with a specialty in pilot skill roll. So you're going to roll your piloting and keep the higher of your agility or your wits.
Okay, so I have a 2 in piloting, and I have a 2 in my specialty rank. So, I'm gonna
And then
roll...
I see you also have a +2 modifier here.
So I'm gonna roll 2.
So you're gonna roll 2, you're gonna keep both, because both your wits and agility are 3, so that's at least 2.
Excellent. Oh, yes! I rolled well for my first roll of the game!
Yeah!
I rolled a 6 and a 5.
6 and a 5. Alright, so you have, that's 11, plus because your wits was 3, you get a rollover from that, so that makes it 12. And then you add 2 for your specialty rank and 2 for your modifier, which gives you a 15, which actually was the target number.
Yes!
So the ship successfully goes rocketing backwards, knocking down whatever's not bolted in. And as you go backwards, you can actually see you've got like a viewfinder over on the side here that's showing you what's behind the ship from the rear cameras. And you actually see Oko and the YPF round the corner to where your ship was, and they dive out of the way as the ship goes flying directly overhead and into the greater atrium.
Celica, can you get a hold of Zara and tell her to try to shoot Oko as we leave?
No problem.
Just at least try.
Yes, no problem. But first and foremost, this is your chief engineer speaking. If you can please put on your seatbelts because it's going to be quite bumpy. And then jackhammer.
Yes. You also have open communication with the ship you can engage. So if you wanted to make a ship-wide communication, you could do that too.
Sure. But this time I do not.
But this time you utilize that sweet telepathic.
Oh yeah. Jackhammer!
How are things going down there?
Alright, so looking at the mirror and the rear view camera, we can totally see Oko. Fire away, use that plasma, friend!
And
Blow him up, Zara!
Speakers up!
He's toast! And I go, oh, I'm gonna kill this! I can't believe he's coming after us again!
Just do a quick tap. Just do a quick tap. It'll be fine.
Okay, and can I roll for...
So you're gonna make your combat turn. Now keep in mind you're shooting against a smaller target, which will increase his defense because of the size differential.
Ooh.
Oh, dang.
Is that a short joke? Was that a short Oh my god, I have so many dice. Okay.
I love it.
Almost, hold on.
I believe in you, Heather.
26.
Oh,
Ooh.
damn! Dan's like, well, fuck.
Oh wait, did I roll two? I think I might have kept. I think I had an extra one. Sorry.
Quiet, Heather. Go on.
I think I did.
Oh, you rolled an extra die, you said?
It's 25. It was still 5 5s.
25. Yeah, that's awesome.
Dang.
Great roll. Alright, so let's take a look at your weapon damage here. You are flying a Tyro class. And so...
We need some battle music. Here we go.
I like it, I like it.
From the Omega Horizon original soundtrack.
Woo!
Woohoo!
I love it.
Beautiful thing.
Totally was listening to that all week. Get inspired.
And before I find out my damage as I'm doing it, I'm going, you killed my thinker, I kill you now!
Alright, so you're going to roll 6 and keep all 6 for your damage.
Ooh.
Ooh!
Okay, alright, ready.
Hell yeah!
Loading my dice, I had to.
I believe you, Heather! I believe!
24.
Oh!
Okay, so
Oh.
as the ship flies backwards over this balcony in the atrium, the YPF forces and Oko all hit the deck, and Zara brings the plasma cannon on the top of the ship to bear and begins to rain superheated plasma on their platform, taking out chunks of the balcony as she does. And the YPF forces and Oko turn with their assault rifles and start to shoot feebly at the hull of the ship. But one of the plasma bolts actually catches Oko and 2 of the guards square on, and you can just see in the aftermath the slag that's left behind. So it would appear that Oko has been destroyed.
Did you get him? Zara? Zara? Did you turn on the comms to the whole ship?
Yeah, speakers up! It looks fine. Look at the mirror! Boom. And then you can see like a little
I got him.
camera.
You got him?
You slagged him!
Ah!
Oh my goodness, you slagged him! Wow! You know, we really have to add some more plasma
Yes!
canisters. Yes!
We're safe.
Alright, let's get out now!
Oh my god, I'm so...
So you
Earning your
have
keep.
but a moment to celebrate as Scarlet then has to quickly maneuver the ship to fly rear backwards up and out the dome roof, which shatters in spectacular fashion, raining glass down into the atrium.
Alright, that was pretty
And
cool.
I climb down the turret, down the ladder again, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's dead! He's gone! He's toast!
Good job!
Nice.
So
Maybe you'll get a free tattoo later.
Oh.
Just to commemorate this moment.
So the Scarlet Talon rockets backwards into the sky, but fairly soon after you can see, you could hear an air, siren, an air raid siren, and you could start to see YPF cruisers start to lift off from below. Assuming that whoever called in this bomb scare is likely the same people that just exited the glass dome of the starport.
Alright, well, I guess we should get ready for a fight.
Why don't you go ahead and make another piloting skill roll, Scarlet, to reorient the ship and start climbing into the atmosphere.
Alright. Alright, that's, what was my skill roll last time? Was a 15 total? I rolled
You got
one
15 for the last
one
time.
lower, I rolled a 6 and a 4, so
Okay.
14.
So you got a 14 overall. All
Yeah.
right. So you're able to reorient the ship. It doesn't happen too quickly. It takes a few seconds, but you're able to reorient, and now you're starting to climb into the atmosphere. But you've got these cruisers hot on your tail.
I got it! Pushing!
They begin to open fire.
Do I have any defenses I can throw up?
So yes,
ship?
you can make an evasive maneuvers piloting skill roll, which will set the ship's defense at the result of your roll.
Okay. Is that another piloting roll, or is that?
Yeah,
different?
you can make another piloting roll.
Oh, rolling lower and lower every time. Is there anything in my looking in my cybernetic enhancements, my augment tech, to see if there's anything I can add here? Doesn't look like it. Cyber weapon? That's probably not part of my
That's
ship.
for cyberspace, right?
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So I rolled a 5 and a 2. That's 7 plus 1 is 8. 9,
So that's actually
10,
lower than the ship's standard defense,
11,
so
12.
standard defense will apply. It won't lower whatever the ship's defense is. Evasive maneuvers can raise it, but it won't lower it.
Okay.
So we're just using the standard defense. The cruisers begin to open fire with their repeating pulse lasers, and 2 of the cruisers miss. The 3rd cruiser does hit, but your shields manage to absorb the blow, and they're still holding. And you continue to climb into orbit. Though it occurs to you pretty quickly that you do not as of yet have a destination. You need to figure out where you want to go once you actually get off of this planet.
Celica?
Yes!
Where are we going?
Dan, do I know of a place that we can go to, or?
So you immediately start thinking about where you might want to go, and of course you're still concerned that yes, you may have killed Oko, but whoever Oko works for is likely not going to be satisfied with that outcome.
Yeah.
So you start to rack your brain about like, well, where can we go? What can we do? And you actually remember when you were poking around in Aladine's secret projects files, you did see that they had a keen interest in an artifact, an alien artifact from a civilization that is since gone, known as the Jeshan Orb. The Jeshan Orb, from the files you found, looked to be a golden orb inlaid with glowing green circuitry, and it supposedly contains a powerful artificial intelligence created by this civilization, which was determined by the initial archaeologists who visited the planet, but there are no records as to what happened to them, and the orb was not logged into acquisitions. So it is believed to still be located on this planet.
Cool, and that's... I'm sorry, where's the planet? Jeshan?
Jeshan. Jeshan. Jeshan.
Jeshan. Okay. Scarlet, let's blast all the way to Jeshan. Don't worry, I'll fill you in with the details once we get out of here.
All right.
All right, so you're going to make another piloting skill roll. This one's going to be an astrogate skill roll, which rather than using your wits, it will use your intellect.
Okay. All right. Rolled a 9 on my d6s, and I'm gonna add. Let's see. My intellect is a 7, so do I add 5?
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So there are 5 rolls over, and then you also have 2 in modifier.
14, 15, 16.
16 is perfect. All right. So you very quickly, while you're flying, you don't have like a hard keyboard computer. You have this like overlay that comes up that you can just touch and it registers what you're trying to do. And so you're pulling up the coordinates of Jeshan. You're able to find it. You lock in the most logical, quickest course to get there, factoring in trying to take a route that's going to make you harder to track, and you lock it in. And the augmented reality overlay in front of the windshield essentially shows you, it like lines up a course for you to follow to get you on track to then activate your faster than light engines.
Okay, we're all set.
FTL at 100%.
All strapped in, ready to go.
All right, let's go.
All right, so blasting out of the atmosphere and into the orbit of Bandor. The other cruisers continue hot on your tail, firing at you. Your shields manage to take most of the fire, and you lock in this course, you get to your location, and now you activate your faster-than-light engines. Now, the Tyro class is a Centennium-class ship, which means you use gravitonium engines. So as it activates, you see a distortion of light in front of the ship as the ship creates essentially a stable sort of a black hole anomaly to actually pull the ship through space and through space-time. And so there's this distortion effect that happens as the ship smoothly accelerates, and then the light begins to blend away and pull around the sides of the ship as you activate your faster than light, and you're gone.
Woo!
Oh man, that was so fast. I think some of my scales flew off.
Oh no, not your scales. Ugh, they're too beautiful. God.
So
It's alright. You can just fix it.
Oh, yes, I can fix anything.
New
Yes.
tats, yeah.
Yes, incoming speaker Scarlet. Good
Hey,
job.
Yeah,
Yes.
you too. All right. Why are we going to Jeshan?
So, here's the thing. I was searching through the dark web and I found something related to something archaeologist visited this planet, and basically
I'm paying attention.
Yes, this archaeologist, he found something with some sort of golden orb with some crazy inlay and some sort of machine that could be related to the Eladine systems.
Machine.
Yes. Maybe
Right.
a machine, some sort of programming. There's no confirmation, but I have a big feeling that once we go to Jeshan, we can find this out and see what we can do to maybe figure this out together.
Are we talking AI here?
Potentially. I'm not 100% sure, but potentially.
Huh.
There's only whispers about it in the dark web, but I don't know. This is the lead I currently have.
And all we know is it's on the planet.
Yes.
That's the that we have.
All
We
right.
don't know where to get it. It's just there.
It's there.
Dan, what do we know about Jeshan in terms of
Yeah.
who?
This is the first you've heard of Jeshan. So again, Jeshan is not settled by current species in the galaxy. It is a planet that was once settled by an advanced alien civilization that, for whatever reason, seems to have gone extinct. And again, so the last known location of the orb is Jeshan, but there are no records of it having left Jeshan.
And
It is a relatively temperate world. It's got standard gravity, breathable atmosphere.
I mean-
do we know? Is it easy for us to track where civilization used to be on the planet, so we have approximate place to land?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So no one's been to Jeshan?
No.
Okay.
Listen, we have nowhere else to go.
All right.
Don't worry, it'll work out. It'll work out.
I mean, I can sense that you really mean that, and I'm gonna go with Celica.
Well, I do really mean that.
I didn't say I didn't believe you. I just really believe you.
Oh,
You know.
thank you, Zora.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said here for an unreliable narrator. However, she believes in a lot of things. So it doesn't mean they're necessarily the best thing to do. Just saying.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't have any other options.
Well, any ties I had are now obliterated. So let's go.
Aren't we your ties too?
I mean, you are now.
So
You're
far,
all-
we're not obliterated, but
I
I
hate
love
to
your
say
core
it.
programming.
You love what?
Your core programming.
Thank you. That was really nice of you to say, actually.
It means well.
Yeah, it.
Your programming.
You, me, thank you.
You.
Yeah. It's a part of me. Me. I am a part of anyway. Okay.
Yes.
I'm pulling up the schematic of the planet now. It looks like I have a place to land. Dan, about how long do we have?
It'll be a few hours in transit before you arrive on the planet.
Okay. Well, if you all need to get some more ammo, wash up, take a nap, I've got a few hours.
Listen, I really appreciate your hospitality, and I'm really sorry about what happened to your ship. But Celica will fix it. We'll pay you back in some manner. And I just need you to know it really does mean a lot to me and Celica that you got us out safe.
You're welcome.
And I decide to oh, no, go ahead.
No. Scarlet kind of has like an unreadable expression and turns back to look out and Pilot.
So if no one has anything pressing they want to cover...
Oh, I do.
You do? All right, yeah,
yes.
Go for it.
Can I...
Good opportunity.
Yes. We're currently in space. I shut off the speaker system. Boop. I look for just like an area where we prep to put on our suits and everything like that.
Sure.
And I put all of that stuff on. I put on the helmet. I put on my mag boots that make sure I'm planted into the ship. And everything's operational, like oxygen levels are good, everything's fine, and magnets working because I don't want to fly out. So I go towards the end of the ship and I open the door slightly, one of the exits slightly, usually where you would dump or space anyone.
Sure, the airlock, yeah.
Yeah, the airlock. And I just stare out for a little bit, just see space. And then I reach into my pocket, pull out a vial. It has little dark dust things in it. And then I look out into the space and I say, this is definitely not ideal, but I'd rather do it now than later because I don't know what Jeshan holds, but Father, I just want to make sure that whatever happens to me, that you're always reunited with Mother, and this is the only time I can do it. I don't have any else I can do except fix it, but in terms of timing's sake, I'm happy you're back home with Mom. And then I pop open the vial and just do this, and the vacuum will slowly leave the vial, and I watch his ashes just disappear into space. And then I also pop the vial back in, the empty vial, and put it in my pocket, and close the airlock.
Sure.
And start to undo everything, and just stare.
Sure. And as you stood there in the airlock, I mean, there was this very beautiful display as again, you're now moving faster than light so that the stars twist into these long lines moving away from the ship as they distort from the faster than light engines.
Okay. And Zada goes, that was beautiful.
Ah! Yes.
I didn't mean to intrude, it's just, you know, you're like family to me.
Thank you,
you know,
so
I'll
much.
always have your back.
Thank you. It's hard, you know. They're both gone, and I don't have anything else except their teachings. But I'm happy they're together now.
They are. I lost my Tinka too, and my family. I know what it's like to lose those that you love. And can I come down to her and give her a big hug? With all 4 arms and I squeeze.
Thank you so much. You know, moving forward, you're gonna be my Tinka. I don't have anything else. I mean, shop's dead, but you know, once everything's gone, we can like bring everything back up. Until then, let's hope we survive.
Let's survive. And we're gonna start a Griggs part 2.
Love it.
All right. Let's now go to bed. I'm really tired, and we're gonna need our beauty rest if we're gonna start on this new planet in the morning.
That's true. Let me go and make sure Scarlet's okay.
Okay.
So I make my way over, climb up the ladder, get into the main cockpit. Phew. So,
Oh, hi.
excellent evasive maneuvering, excellent piloting. It could have been better, but we suffered minimal damage and we're on our way to Jeshan. So, I feel like that's mission complete.
Yeah. I agree.
So I sit down next to her in the other co-pilot chair. I spin around real quick.
All right, no. We're not spinning. This is a sacred space. Okay, if you're gonna be up here in the cockpit, you gotta treat it with respect.
I'm just making sure that it's oiled properly. Otherwise, you can fall off, and that's not very safe. Safety always, is what I was always told.
I actually have a weird little squeaking that's happening in my elbow.
Oh.
Speaking of greasing, if you could just take a look at that.
Oh yes, no problem.
It's kind of like if you push it this way. Yeah.
This way. So this way.
Yeah.
Oh, but if I go this way.
No, that's fine. That's fine that way.
Oh, okay. But this way again.
Yep. There it is.
Oh, okay. And then okay. And then I reach into my engineering's kit and I have some sort of WD-40 style in this universe.
Yes.
And then I just start rubbing that in, and then just making sure. Okay, now I do this.
That's good. Yeah.
And then I do this.
A little higher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, right there. Yep.
Yep.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
Great. Now I'm just gonna keep doing this motion back and forth, just to make sure that this oil sinks into your machinery, and we should be excellent and optimal, back to normal.
Woo! Yeah. I feel new.
Oh. Excellent. I love that. And I put my WD-40 back into my pocket.
Lubricating grease. You got it.
My lubricating grease for machinery. And then I say, so, how is my new little android friend doing?
No.
Yes?
Good. Well,
you were an acquaintance before, and we did business together, but now, from what you said earlier, you are now a tie, and we're all tied together. So, definitely more of a bongo than a business transaction.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm alright. I just don't really know what I'm supposed to do now. Working with Ollie and Oren, now that he's gone, I don't really know if I'm supposed to take over, continue his legacy. I mean, I'm glad we're going to find this Jeshan Orb, because I have some kind of purpose here, but if I'm not stealing cybernetic augmentation, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I can't do it without his help.
Well, I'm very sorry for your loss. And
thank you.
We're all tied together now. So, the thing we need to work on is take down the stupid Eladine who's crushed and made our lives harder, and just make sure they're down.
Yeah,
they're bad people.
It kind of seems like if we can get this orb, we're almost hacking the situation, because there's no way we can take down the Alabaster Throne just ourselves. I mean, you heard what happened to his daughter, right?
Yes.
If he could do something like that to his own daughter, what would he do to strangers? What would he do to anybody who came up against him?
That's true.
And I come out of chameleon mode, I'm in the back.
I'm happy that that DNA is working out for you. I'm extremely excited. That was one of my very first gene splicing projects, and it looks like it's operational.
Wow, you did that?
Yes, celestial rigs, baby.
Nice.
Maybe you could fix this voice box one day. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, it's on my list of fix it things. Not high in priority because it looks totally fine and it sounds fine right now. So, but definitely on the list.
I mean, sometimes it is very fun. I like it. I wake up and I just have a different accent, or I go to bed and I have a different accent. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyways,
Zara, I never understood why your mind tricks don't work on me.
It's not a trick, it is a gift.
Okay.
well, I can only read organic. I can't read android. You are alive, but you're not alive. It is your build. I'm sorry. It's your makeup. I can't.
So, my thoughts are simply signals, bouncing back and forth in the machinery in my head. Not so different from the human brain, from humanoid brain. I guess
Yes,
maybe
but
if
you're
you could
more
plug
rugged.
something in, you could read my brain. I mean, look, I'm glad you can. I'm just always curious about the difference. You know, people don't really take my thoughts as seriously. So.
But you're more free than anyone.
Am I?
Because think, everybody else, we react in a way that we are programmed for. We are programmed by our emotions, by our previous actions. You don't have a choice. It is just, if someone chooses to do a job, and it is a horrible job, but you still choose to do it, is it not worse than if you had no choice at all? We are inferior sometimes because we choose our own pain.
I make new choices. Every day I make new choices. Based on the information that's given, I make a new choice, and I am constantly creating new connections. And I do have a moral compass. So I don't know if it's quite fair to say that I don't make my own choices.
I think you are now in charge of creating your own destiny. I don't think I'm wording this correctly. I don't know how to read your mind, but that's because it's more elevated than an organic mind. Yes, it's
saying that to
numerical.
make me feel better.
Is it not an asset for someone not to be able to incept an idea into your head? Is it not an asset to not be able to be your own individual? I could go to Celica and be like, I think you're going to bring me cookies.
Do I?
I'm not going to do that now.
I would like to bring you cookies.
Might have said that a little too loud.
You know I cannot bake.
Yeah,
It's
that's
interesting.
Why I don't ask.
It's interesting. So, Paraborans, are they the only creatures who can do this?
I heard a rumor Xenoans also have psychic ability, but it's not all Paraborans that have this ability. You see, my grandmother, she was in line to be the oracle, the matriarch of our tribe of Bityanti. I also possess those powers, so I was in line as well, but I couldn't live a life that was I had to live a life for my people and try to just help them and use my powers just for them, but there was so much more to this world.
So you set out by yourself?
No.
All right.
I took my android Tinker with me.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And for yours as well.
You know, it's funny. I'm drawing parallels now. You can read a human's mind. You can influence the human's mind. Not so different from a human and an android. At least thus far. And once we start installing all of these cybernetic enhancements to humans and they become more and more cyborg, it's gonna blur the line between what is human, what is android. When you start to plug things into your brain, how are you not an android?
Fair point. I wonder if in the future we'll all be on a level playing field and maybe I could read everybody's mind. Maybe you could read mine.
I don't know if I want to read anybody's mind. It seems like a burden to me.
That's very true.
Although I'm sure it's easier to sneak into Megacorps and steal their shit.
I think my skills will be useful in that aspect.
I'm glad you're interested, because there's an opening.
Is there now?
The rewards are high. Well, if it is rewarding to you to provide deeply, deeply discounted tech to people in need.
And I go, Celica?
Obviously, that is a legitimate transaction. You know I'm not in it super hard for the credits. I'm mainly into it because these stupid megacorps, they just take everything from their own people. It's stupid.
And look, they overprice these things by 50 times. They're selling stuff for 50,000 credits that cost them maybe 5 to make. It is ridiculous. They're not going to miss one shipment in their profit returns.
I'm definitely excited to level out the playing field. And then I grab both of them put one arm around the other and go, look at us, look at us.
All right.
Aren't we a lot closer now? Isn't this great?
All right,
and,
this is why I don't let people in the cockpit.
And my assistant, yes, good.
Yes.
Okay, all right. She shakes them off. We're almost there, so if you need to, whatever you need to do, just go.
Okay, I need to use the restroom. I've also disabled the speakers there, but don't worry.
Okay.
I won't listen in.
All right. Okay, cool. So I will start to navigate us towards wherever I've pinpointed a good place to land is on Jeshan.
All right. So you start making the pre-landing checks you need to make for when you arrive in the orbit of Jeshan. I think this is actually a really good place for us to take a brief intermission.
Cool.
We will pick up with arriving at Jeshan and go from there. So stick around.
All right.
Yeah!
See you soon.
Welcome back. Where we left off, our crew had just left the planet Bandor, pursued by the Yamato Protectorate fleet on behest of the Aladyne Corporation, and we now find our crew arriving in orbit around the mysterious planet Jeshan, looking for an artifact known as the Jeshan Orb, said to contain an advanced artificial intelligence. So, our crew, what are you all doing as you arrive in orbit?
I'm taking a look at the map that I have pulled up, and I am trying to determine what I'll need to do to land the ship safely.
Right, so as you have this three-dimensional image of the planet that you can sort of spin around just by tapping at the hollow display, you can see that there's this plateau that rises up from what appears to be an arid desert area of the planet. And on top of this plateau, there's a lot of organic signs. So there must be plant life, or you would imagine some sort of dense jungle or forest on top of this plateau. And according to the readout of the ship scanners, there's also a lot of processed inorganic material, likely buildings from whatever the ancient society was that is now derelict.
Okay. And is there there's an empty open space that I can
Absolutely.
land?
So you're not sure if this ancient species was spacefaring or not, but clearly they must have had some aerial technology, because there appear to be landing fields, cleared areas that are less overgrown than the surrounding area, and it looks like it's been compacted so that heavy things can land on those areas. So it seems like a perfect place to land the ship.
All right. We've got about 5 minutes. Let's go.
All right, this is your chief engineer speaking. Please strap on. It's always safe here if you be safe. So please strap on your belts, make sure you're good. And yes, here we go. And I also check in our system diagnostics and make sure that we're still operational, that we're good, oxygen levels are good, life support still active, everything is there, artificial gravity, everything, it's all there.
Yes, everything is nominal. The shields have regenerated from the little spat on Bandor. And the hull sustained minor damage from when you exited the starport, from the metal struts holding the glass dome up and things like that, but otherwise the ship is in good shape.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, I relay that info.
However, while you're looking at the ship sensor overlay, which right now has readouts from the planet, you do notice appearing from the other side of the planet in low orbit appear to be other ship signatures. Why don't you give me a computer's system ops roll?
And that's Celica?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
okay. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll 5 because that's what my computer ranks in, and I don't have any bonuses to that, but it's cool. Roll 5, keep 5. That's tight. That's still strong. Oh yeah, it's still strong. All right, let's go. This one. So that is a 10, 20. Oh. Yep, 21, 25.
Awesome. That's a really good
Nice.
roll. And just so you know, the way that scanning works, and a lot of skill rolls that are more perception-based works, is rather than being a catch-all, you succeed or you fail, usually it's a sliding scale of if you hit this TN, you get this information. If you hit a higher TN, you get more information, so on and so forth. So, based on the very high roll result that you got, you're able to really fine-tune the scanners in and get a lot of information on these ships. So they are clearly Yamato cruisers. They are a mix of generic YPF cruisers and also cruisers owned by Aladyne Systems. Further, you're able to see that the ships are all outfitted with heavy plasma cannons and also missiles and advanced sensor suites. They seem to be at this planet maybe looking for something. Likely, from your knowledge, maybe the Jeshan Orb.
Okay, so checking the system diagnostics and everything else, scanners show that there is a significant amount of Yamato cruisers and, some generic, like, YPF, cruisers, and definitely those stupid Aladdin Systems cruisers. So it looks like, though, I just want to let you all know, don't be alarmed, but
I'm alarmed. I'm already alarmed.
Yeah, maybe be a little bit alarmed, but
Yeah.
there is some advanced sensors, and there's a lot of plasma cannons and some missiles. It looks like they have a heavy artillery here. And, I thought Jeshan would be a lot safer, but looking at this scan, maybe not as safe. But just in case, buckle up.
I'm buckled. I'm worried. I'm more worried about the guns than I am about my buckle right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying we can't take them?
Definitely not, no.
Okay,
but
maybe we can,
we can land, maybe
Well,
without
I don't
them
wanna-
noticing.
I'm not trying to land exactly where I want to go and bring all these cruisers with us.
Maybe there's like a different location that
Yeah, I'm turning now.
we can find.
All right.
So Scarlet will start to turn the ship so it's not headed exactly where they want to explore.
Sure. So go ahead and make a piloting skill roll here.
Okay.
Also at the same time, I like beep, 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 and then like send over like a HUD of like what I'm seeing to to Scarlet in the main cockpit.
15.
Okay, so you bring the ship around pretty deftly and start moving. However, the cruisers have definitely detected you. You can see the little pings on your overlay that they are now moving to engage you, and they appear to be faster than you are. So they're definitely gaining on you. And once they're within range, you get a blaring alarm in the cockpit that the ship detects that ordnance missiles have been launched at your ship.
Okay.
Don't know if you're seeing this,
Yeah,
but
I'm seeing it.
okay, well, get everything together and buckle up and prepare for any sort of immediate crazy vibration that we're about to hit.
Yeah, the belts are a good idea because we do have some safety measures in place. If we happen to lose control of the craft.
Yes, they're currently operational.
Yes. Good.
Scarlet, I know
Haven't
you
had
can
to use
do
them
this.
yet.
We can run past these missiles. I'm gonna go up to the turrets and I'm gonna try to see if I can just knock a few of them down.
Zara, do what you want to do, but that's the first place they're gonna shoot.
All right, I'm putting my trust in you two then. And I strap myself in next to Scarlet and with all four of my hands, grab the seats and go.
Just gotta evade. Let's go.
System diagnostics reading cruisers are in range to fire missiles.
All right, so Scarlet, why don't you go ahead and roll your evasive maneuvers? And
Oh god.
Celica, you can actually make a systems ops roll to fire countermeasures to try to eliminate some of the missiles coming at you.
Yes, I would like to do that.
So, what skill am I rolling here?
You're rolling pilot for your evasive maneuvers, which will set, if you roll higher than the ship's current defense, it will set the defense at the higher level.
Oh, I rolled so bad.
No!
It's okay, it's alright. Remember, the nice thing about evasive maneuvers is it won't ever lower your defense. It just means it won't increase the defense.
Oh, and I roll a system ops. Come on, system ops. Let's go.
I
baby.
rolled
Oh.
a 4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
18.
I rolled a 9.
21.
All right, sounds good. So you will definitely time it correctly to launch the ordnance to try to reduce some of the incoming missiles. Probably won't take all of them out from the sheer number, but you will definitely reduce some of the incoming damage with that roll.
Okay. Hell freaking yeah. All right. Don't worry. Just pilot along. I'll launch any sort of ordnance I have to counteract like the missiles that are incoming.
Okay, alright.
Don't worry. I'm confident in this, and you should be too.
You keep telling me to not worry. I'm pretty worried. This is the only thing I have right now. But my ship is my life. So if we get shot down, it's not looking pretty for me.
Yeah. I don't want to be shut down. And then I say jackhammer, and then I yell, or I mind telepathy talk to Zara. Yeah, brace yourself. We may have a lot of heavy fighter power coming our way, so just be careful, okay?
And I go, okay, I'm pretty useless at this point, so it's up to you, so bring me down safely.
I'm gonna try my best, but it's all Scarlet too. I can only minimize the damage.
I'm
Jackhammer. Shit!
Jackhammer! But Scarlet doesn't hear this. Is all jackhammer.
I look over at Scarlet with all four of my hands go.
Yeah.
All right, so Scarlet earnestly activates the ship's afterburners, trying to outrun any of the missiles as Celica engages the countermeasures to try to stop some of the ordnance from making contact. However, half dozen of the missiles do actually strike the Tyro-class vessel, disabling both engines.
Oh no!
And breaching the hull in several sections. Thankfully not the cockpit, however. But you were in low orbit when this happened, which means the planet's gravity now starts to pull you towards the atmosphere.
Oh no!
Oh no!
We're going down!
Looks like your gravitonium engines are not working!
So, Dan, in this ship, is there any kind of what do you call it, on Earth spacecrafts where you can eject yourself?
So not on this ship, no. The cockpit is located as part of the ship's body, so you can't actively eject it. There are escape pods you could load into, which are designed more for use in space, if you have to eject from a ship that's about to explode. When landing on the planet, you can try to get into an escape pod that might help you, or you can try to land the ship. At this point, it would be a crash landing. You could attempt to crash land the ship. What I will say is if you get into the escape pods, the ship will definitely be scrapped. If you attempt to crash land it, there's a chance you could save it, or at least save part of it.
I can't leave her behind. I'm gonna try to land this thing.
Okay, I believe in you! Speaker disable.
Okay. So, the ship begins to plummet through the atmosphere, and as it does, the heat shielding engages as it sort of becomes red hot as you plummet into the atmosphere. The landing gear, you attempt to try to engage the landing gear has been slagged by the missiles. You do have drag flaps that you're able to engage, which will slow down your descent a little bit. Go ahead and make your pilot skill roll to attempt to land. Now, the area of the planet that you are descending to, and see, it's part of the desert around that plateau I mentioned.
I rolled another 9.
Okay, so
Oh snap!
that nine is a failure.
Oh no!
It is a failure by a long shot. So you have an option here. If you'd like to use your token of destiny, you can turn that failure into a skin of your teeth success.
Okay, my token of destiny. Can you tell me what that is again?
So for those watching especially, your token of destiny is something you choose at character creation, which is something meaningful for your character. It could be an object, it can be a scar, it can be a memory even, but it's something that you hold on to that is defining for your character. And in times of trouble, in times when failure is not an option, you need to make it work, you can call on your token of destiny once per game session to either turn a failure into a skin of your teeth success, or to turn a success into a critical success when you really need it to count. Or you can do some other stuff like reducing damage from a single source for a turn, or some other stuff like that. But in this case, the use would be to try to, 1, make sure they don't die in this crash landing, and 2, save as much of the ship as possible, because as the current roll works, they will die in a fiery explosion if they just land at the rate they're going without being able to pull up from this death spiral they're in.
Okay, so I can use my token of destiny, and it doesn't get used up? It can reuse it
So
per...
it gets used up for this session, but then next game session you'll be able to use it again.
I still
so once per
possess
session.
it, though. Okay.
Yes, correct. You never lose it, and even if it's an object, if the object's token, a token of some sort, like a trinket or something like that, even if the object's token, just by remembering the trinket, you can still call upon that power, because it's a part of you, right? The trinket is just memorabilia that is like a mnemonic device to help you remember that part of you, but you're digging deep into yourself to, your destiny is not to die here. You've got a destiny somewhere else. Your token destiny is a reminder that keeps you going to that next thing.
Yes.
So why don't you go ahead and describe your token of destiny and how you're using it to get you through this harrowing situation.
So Scarlet wears Ollie's dog tag. It was the only thing that was left of him in the fire, and on one side it says Ollie, and on the other side it says Oren, and she pulls it out, holds it in her hand. All right. You didn't build me to crash and burn. I'm a survivor. Let's do this.
All
now
right.
She's fortified with the memory of Oren.
I like it. So, gripping your controls tightly with grim determination on your face, you pull back as hard as you can on the flight controls, and the ship starts to level out, shaking from the turbulence of the atmosphere. And you can see the desert sand rapidly approaching. When finally you do make contact, you skip off the sand like a stone, and at every time it makes contact with the sand, more and more of the ship sort of tears away and is left in this wake of flotsam and jetsam behind you as you bounce, until finally the ship sort of flips and rolls, comes to a smoking halt, buried half in the sand. Red lights blare
Baby.
Warning indicator lights that's lit up like a Christmas tree all over the panels. You've lost vital ship systems. The turret was torn off. This thing certainly can't fly in its current condition, but you are all alive, and you've at least managed to save some of the core components.
Is everybody all right?
Check, Hammer. Everything okay?
Yeah, I think. How are you?
I want to throw up.
Is anybody bleeding?
No?
I look at myself. I'm not bleeding, right?
You're a little banged up, some bruises, maybe some minor cuts, but nothing that would actually render mechanical damage.
So, can you inspect Scarlet? I don't know. Can you
Yeah, no problem. I just got a few cuts, some bruises on the stupid fleshy. I would trade bodies with Scarlet any day. This is ridiculous. Ugh.
Well, we can just keep augmenting you. Oh, I'm
My
not there.
nanites start to try and repair the little the little scrapes and scars. Ugh. Good thing for the cybernetic enhancements. Ugh. And then I unbuckle, get up, get a little woozy, and then just make my way to the cockpit. All right.
You okay?
And then as I'm looking at Scarlet, my nanites start to cover up the scrapes and cuts and stuff.
Nice.
I need to get me some of that. That's so cool.
Oh yes, it's quite expensive, but don't worry. We'll figure something out.
My ship. My baby. Oh my god, this is gonna take so
I look
long
around.
to fix.
This is not something I'm able to fix immediately.
Yeah.
I just want to let you all know that.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that I don't know how to fix this. I just need a few months.
Months?
Months.
Oh, right. Well,
I don't have the parts, and we've never been to Jeshan before. So,
Scarlett's gonna try to pull up the map of where to try to figure out where they are.
All right, so you try to pull up the map, and that ship's computer whirs, and you can hear the hardware clicking over as it's like trying to fire up, and the hologram appears for a moment, then flickers out and dies.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay.
Can I?
Pilot doesn't
can I,
have a ship. Doesn't know where she is.
Don't worry. We can
on a planet that I've never been to before.
I can send out a drone and scout out the ship and scout out the area real quick.
Okay. Can you send that feed back to me?
And then I like tap on the display. Does it look messed up and cracked and damaged, and that it's gonna work or not?
You're talking about your personal datapad?
Yeah.
Yeah, your datapad's intact.
Okay, cool. But if I send anything to the cockpit, will there be a HUD if I send it over to their
Not
screen?
not to the cockpit. However, you are able to uplink it to Scarlet's augmented overlay.
Got it.
Cool.
All right. So
So cool.
trust me here. I'm gonna send out my drone, and I can. It looks like the ship is not working, and any of these displays aren't working. Look at them; they're cracked. You can tell.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can see.
But what I can do, because you are an amazing, amazing android, and my goodness, I would love to be you one day. Oh, this stupid. But
It's
I
confusing.
can.
The way you talk to me, half the time it's reverent, half the time I feel like it's a little condescending.
It's not condescending. I really hate this human body. Do you see how much augmentation I do? I just hate it. It's weak, it's frail. I need to use any sort of augmentation or tech to just make it operational. And even at that, it's not that operational.
I mean, look, I don't disagree with you.
I mean, I don't either. But I can plug into your system, and then you can see exactly what I see and exactly see my regulator run around the ship and the perimeter, just to make sure we're all safe.
Okay.
Cool. So at that moment, I grab my droney poos. Out of my 3 drones, I grab my basic surveillance drone. Here you are, surveillance drone. And I grab it and I say, police, I'll be watching you. And then poof, 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 it like lights up and activates. It goes poof, and then it goes out and starts to look at the perimeter. And what do I see on my datapad? I also boop, send that signal over to Scarlet to check it out as well.
All right, so your scout drone, which is an ex-Yamato police drone, is a little bit larger than like a basketball in size. And it's got these tiny little hover jets that it uses to get around. And so it zips up and exits the what's left of the loading bay, which is now just a torn open section of hull. And it zips around and it starts making concentric circles around the wreckage of the ship. As it does, it sends the feed to your datapad and also to Scarlet's augmented reality overlay. And it begins to survey the area. And so again, you can see this several kilometer long trail of pieces of the ship that you left behind, this flaming wreckage. And it also then lifts high into the sky and starts turning around to get a view of your surroundings. And you see that there's a pretty significant stretch of desert between you and the plateau where you want to get to. It also, as it spins, turns and looks up into the atmosphere, and you can see the distant lights moving through the sky that likely represent the cruisers now looking for your wreckage to confirm the kill. While this is happening, Scarlet, you also, if I'm not mistaken, have a GPS implant? Let me just double check.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So while it's doing this, it's also starting to build like a map, like a 3-dimensional map of your surrounding area. And so your GPS unit automatically sensing that form of data come in, starts to record that and build a local map for you that you'll be able to use as part of getting around.
Cool.
Sweet.
Ooh.
And Zara's on the floor with stick playing in the sand. She knows she's completely useless at this point. And,
In this particular arena.
and she sits on the ground and she goes, jackhammer.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you extrapolate what you're seeing? Because I'm
Oh, yeah.
really...
I show her the data pad as well. So, yes. Do you see? The beautiful thing about Android and Scarlet is she is an android. I would love that. Oh my goodness. But other than that, look, it builds a perimeter, like a 3D perimeter of us looking at our current surroundings. It looks like there's quite a bit of desert. And oh my goodness, look at, the poor Scarlet baby. Oh no. Looks like there's also the wreckage, like dropping like little entrails of the ship. That's awful. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of work to be done here. But it looks like it's looking not great. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not looking great. We don't know where we are. We don't know what we need to do. And I don't see any sort of way we can survive in this because it's, to be honest and to be quite frank with you, it's not in my skill sets. These hands are not really made for anything like that. And this brain is not so much like that. But yours is not either. But maybe Scarlet's could be.
Maybe... Oh!
Yes. Assistant, you're getting it. I'm so proud of you. You get a gold star. Not physically, just mentally. A gold star.
That's like a brilliant idea, and then my voice, I get so excited that my voice just kind of goes like this, and I go, oh my god, that's brilliant. I don't know how did I not think of that?
I like this voice.
Do you have everything you need for this?
It looks like I do. I have my compad, I have my data chips, and I have my brain. It's still functional from what I can tell.
I mean, you did get hit pretty hard, but not that hard.
Yeah.
All right, what do you need from me? How can I help?
I just need your presence for moral support.
That I can do. That's pretty easy.
Okay.
As they're talking, Scarlet is standing kind of zoning out in the corner, her eyes seemingly glazed over as she's just intaking this information as the map is being built in her brain. Kind of like a computer that's gone to sleep. But her eyes are open.
Cool. I'm gonna walk over to Scarlet and I go, hello.
Hello.
So there's something I'd like to talk to you about. And
yes,
because you are a real sentient being, I would love your consent.
Yes.
So, as you can see, it looks like, yes, I'm so sorry, your ship is not going to be operational. However, if you look at the perimeter around us, you can see that there's a lot of things that I cannot fix, I cannot maybe survive in. Same with maybe you, and same with maybe Zara.
Yes.
So this is unfortunate because this is the fate that that we've currently landed into. So what I can do is, and then I go, I bring up my arm and I look through my old programming systems and look through all my folders and files, neatly organized, excuse you. And I go, okay. With your consent, obviously, because I'm respectful in this manner.
Yes.
I would love to upload a specific survivalist program that I've been developing for the last, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years. And don't worry, the bugs are gone, mainly, I believe, in my current testing. But if I do upload that into your system, you'd be our best bet to getting us safe.
Yes. Yes.
Is the
she
yes?
even listening?
I don't want to just hijack her.
Whoa.
So is that yes and yes? I consent to me uploading this survivalist program.
Yes.
Okay. So
while you're having this conversation, the scout drone finishes its initial scan and returns to the ship.
Yeah.
Good job. I tap it. Kink, kink. And then all right, she said yes. And I will go ahead and upload the survivalist program into Scarlet.
It's gonna take a little time for you to do that because you've got to get inside and mess with her programming a little bit. So you do, like I said, you know that the Yamato cruisers in orbit are now heading to your last known destination, which means they may be sending their own scouts down to confirm if you died in the crash or not. So you figure you probably want to get clear of this wreckage as fast as possible.
Okay, so as I'm going to run this program, we need to get the fuck out of here. And just hide, and then I will install the program. All right, Scarlet. And then I'll say, look at her again and go, hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Uh-huh.
All right, so I deactivate my police drone, and then I deactivate the screen sharing. My screen sharing display, poof, shut down. And then I tell us, let's get out of here.
Okay.
Wow, that download took forever. Okay, what are we doing? What?
We're getting out of here.
Okay.
The Yamato forces are on their way. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go hide.
All right. So the three of you make your way out of the wreckage of the ship carefully, and there's like a large dune nearby that you could go and hide behind. And no sooner do you get over the hill than you notice several scout drones from the Yamato cruisers arrive and start sweeping the area.
Is there any kind of camouflage enhancement that I could have put up on the ship as we left? Something that, like, I don't know, demagnetizes or makes it so that it can't be read by a drone?
No.
Okay.
Do we have anything that could booby trap it so that if someone tried to get in said ship, it would...
So, if more of the ship was intact, you might have been able to rig the core to blow, but unfortunately, that is not possible in the current state of the ship.
Darn. All right. Hiding it is.
All right, so you guys hide there. You don't even have to make a roll because the dune is large enough that it covers you. And the scout drones come and they circle the area a little bit. They don't actually venture that far from the ship. They're going in and out of the ship. And then shortly thereafter, basically this hover skiff comes down, and there are what looked to be human guards on the actual skiff. And the skiff lands not far from the ship, and they get out and they start making their way over to the ship. Clearly, they're trying to find your bodies to confirm if you died in the wreck.
Yikes.
I can see that Zara is potentially eager to try something.
Maybe. I want to try to cast illusion that there's scorch marks on the ground.
Yeah. Get it.
Okay.
Right.
So, obviously it'll be a little harder because you're going to try to do this for multiple subjects. This is actually the first time Zara's ever tried to use her psionic powers to create an illusion to trick the minds of more than one individual at once. But you can go ahead and try it. You're going to make a psionic skill roll, keeping your psionic trait, and you will add your specialty ranks and/or modifiers in illusion.
Okay, so psionic skill roll, keep my psionic trait. And I'm going to call on my token of destiny.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you want,
Yes.
you don't have to do that until you know if you fail.
Failed? Oh, okay.
You get
Tight.
to choose to use it only if you know you're going to fail, and then you can use it to succeed. So let's see what your roll is first.
18.
On it yet? 18. All right. So first one is that it's set to the highest among them. That's actually going to be enough. That's going to be enough.
Oh,
so as these guards walk aboard the ship, you reach out with your mind, and though you can't see this, as they arrive, they actually see your torn up bodies. It looks like there's shrapnel that came through the cockpit of the ship when you guys landed and impaled all of you, and your bodies are just slumped over and deceased. And so they do a scan. Their scan doesn't pick up life forms, which makes sense. Their technology isn't being tricked by your psionics, but there are in fact no life forms on the cockpit. And they're convinced that they see you, so they turn satisfied that you're gone. They plant some explosives, unfortunately, on the ship to cover up evidence, and they get on their skiff and leave. And as they leave, an explosion rocks the wreckage of the Scarlet Talon, sending more shrapnel flying over the dune, landing not far from where you are.
Oh, my condolences, Scarlet.
R.I.P. Scarlet, I'm sorry.
We just watched the funeral. I am so sorry for your loss.
On the bright side, we're all still here.
Oh, that was a beautiful ship.
Yeah.
She was my best friend. All right. Well, I'm going to compartmentalize all of that and save that for later.
Great. So, let me double check the programming that I've put in you real quick.
All right, so you're going to have to make a computer's programming skill roll here. And for those of you watching what's happening right now, androids have this neat bit where, with a successful computer's programming roll, someone can actually shift where their skill group ranks are from one skill group to another. So it can't change how many are in each individual, but you can literally just, if let's say you've got piloting and now like you don't have a ship to pilot, you can actually take those ranks and move them to survival so that they can better utilize their talents for the specific situation. It does not change, mind you, the android's personality in any way. It doesn't change their memories or experiences. It's because unlike organic beings that create skills by trial and error and then muscle memory and all that stuff, for androids it's a line of code. It tells them what their body should be doing at certain points in time. So it's shallow programming that can easily be shifted around.
Okay.
So I roll.
We're gonna change my piloting ranks.
Survival.
To survive.
But
Right.
Scarlet, before we do it, I need to know if this is okay with you. We would never make you do anything if you didn't approve of it.
You can put it back, right?
Yes, totally. It's just temporary.
Yeah.
But you've also consented. So, yes.
Did you ask me while I was downloading?
I don't know, maybe?
If you were asking me while I was downloading, my mind is somewhere else.
I don't know.
On autopilot.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. So, are you okay with this?
Humanoids
before
are asking androids for their consent while they're downloading. It's like, just get it right. How many times do we have to say it?
I'm sorry. I've asked more than twice, and I did not understand that you were not conscious. I am sorry about that.
That's
but
all right.
while you are conscious, and I have a witness.
If there's no sarcasm present in my speech, I'm probably not conscious.
I'm unaware of that programming, but thank you so much for enlightening me with that. I can take that into consideration moving forward.
Okay. Yes.
She said yes.
Hey, if there's anything great about being an android, it's swapping around my skills. Let's do this.
There's definitely more than that, but okay.
Also the steel skeleton is pretty cool. The carbon steel skeleton.
That's also really nice.
And the
I would
ocular
like that.
implants, and the cochlear implants, and the nanite factory. And
I also have all that. Yes.
the GPI cyber armor.
There's definitely a lot more. That's why I believe the androids are significantly superior to the stupid humans.
All right, look, when you talk about yourself like that, you're also talking about Oren, okay?
I just believe
He was a human.
myself is not like that. All not good.
Okay.
I'm
well,
sorry
Oren
if
was
your
a lot
programming
of
is
good.
taking that in a very negative and personal way. That was not my intention.
And I go, wait. We all have our strong suits. I know the most about not liking who I am and wanting to change my outer appearance. I get that. But you can't hate on yourself as well. You're a strong, beautiful engineer. And
Thank
don't
you.
talk to my best friend like that. Scarlet,
Yeah.
I have nothing to say to you right now.
Okay.
So now that I've completely apologized for everything I have said, and you've actually approved of the consent for the third time, but this one is considered as the first time. Yes, so that means my system programming has 21.
Okay. All right, so you successfully managed to reprogram. It takes about 15-20 minutes for you to get in there, tinker around, and change the skill programming to move her understanding of piloting to basic survival 101, foraging, hunting, fishing, wayfaring, things like that. So
I imagine when this happens, inside Scarlett's mind, she's getting just flashes of brand new data shooting through her synapses. Just what are the survival skills? Foraging, hunting, salvaging, tracking, wayfinding. Yeah, just shooting across the backs of her eyelids.
Absolutely. All right, and then with that, you bring her back fully online, and now the knowledge is there.
Whoa.
And done.
That is so cool.
Thank you. I hope the program runs very well.
Let's put it to the test.
Okay.
So Dan, I had a 2 in my piloting rank, and I'm moving that over to survival.
Correct. You currently have 2 in survival, and I'm in piloting right now.
And then do I move my specialty rank in pilot?
No. Specialty ranks stay where they are. That's deeper level of programming.
Okay. So if I have a 2 in survival, but I don't have any specialty ranks, then I'm just going to be adding my modifier and my
Correct.
leftover wits or charisma?
Right, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Okay, so based on the maps that we've created, can we figure out how far away we are from...
Absolutely.
Okay.
So go ahead and make your survival skill roll. This will be using the wayfinding specialty of survival.
Okay. Rolling like garbage. I need to roll new dice now. These ones are tired. That's a 4, 5, 10.
10. All right. Now, normally, this roll would have required a TN 15. However, because Celica used her scouting drone to develop a base map linked to your global positioning system implant, it actually allows you to lower the target number to 10. So your roll is
great.
successful.
Oh, yeah.
New dice,
So
new dice.
you are able to figure out the best path to get to the plateau, and you figure that the journey's going to take you on foot probably 2.5 days. The biggest problem you have is that all of your food and water and other supplies were on parts of the ship that have now been vaporized. So you're going to have to try to find some water. Now, while you do have basic survival instincts, you don't know Jeshan. And so you're going to have to, as you start to make your journey, you're going to have to collect some additional information to figure out how to get those supplies to tide you over to get to the plateau. Because on the plateau, you figure, with your knowledge of survival, being a vegetated, more organically rich area, it will likely be easier to find whatever biological resources you need to keep your companions alive. Now, you as an android, you really don't need much. You go into sort of a sleep mode to regenerate your energy. You don't need any food or water or anything like that. So you'll be fine, but they'll need some supplies at some point.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so as we walk, I will make those survival checks and try to find sustenance for my new friends.
All right, so you start to trudge across the desert sand as the sun beats down on the three of you. And you travel for hours through the shifting sands until finally you reach this dry sort of mud flats. It looks like at one time maybe there was water on this planet in this area, but for whatever reason the water is now gone, and it's left behind these cracked mud flats. And as you go, as you're getting closer, there's like shapes on the horizon. You're not even sure at first if maybe it's a mirage, but then as you get closer you realize they are real things. There are these creatures, these towering, plodding, slow-moving beasts that just slowly are making their way through the desert. You don't see them stopping to eat or anything. They're just constantly moving.
Do we have art of this that I can show?
No, unfortunately,
okay.
I don't. I do not. But essentially, they're sort of elephantine in nature. They've got these really large, flat feet that sort of spread out as they apply pressure to them, so that they don't sink into the mud flats. And they have really, really long trunk-like appendages that, without them having to bend down or anything, can touch the flats periodically, and you're not sure what exactly they're doing, but they may be foraging for something, or you're not sure. But as you get, they look like they're going to intersect your path as you continue on, and as it gets a little bit closer, you also notice there are these winged creatures that travel behind them, and they sort of flit for a while and then land, and then flit for a while and then land as a group. And as you get closer and closer and your paths are about to intersect, you start to realize that they're landing in the footprints of this large creature as it goes, and they flit again and they land, they flit again and they land. And so as it's moving ahead of you, it gets to the point where it's about 1 kilometer ahead of you, and it doesn't pay you any attention, it doesn't seem to notice you at all. It just slowly, ponderously goes step by step by step, shaking the ground as it moves. And then you see all these colorful bird-like creatures, featherless bird-like creatures that are flitting behind it as a group. And once you finally make your way up to its footprints, you see that the area where its footprint depressed the mud flat is dense. And you realize that these flying creatures that are floating behind it are using it to find water, because every time its heavy foot presses down, it brings water to the surface. And they drink, and then they move to the next footstep, and they drink, and they move to the next footstep. So why don't you go ahead and make a survival foraging skill roll. This is an intellect-based skill roll.
And I don't have any bonuses in this. So I rolled a 6 plus my leftover...
Intellect rolls over, right?
plus 5. 11.
Okay, yes, perfect. So you realize that with some of the gear you have just on like your general pack that you were able to grab before you left, you can probably auger into the soil a little bit and bring up some water for your companions.
Okay, over here. Jump in.
Okay.
It's not gonna
You slide down the edge of this depression into the damp soil.
Oh, it's a lot cooler here. Ooh.
Yeah, looks like it's not gonna be the cleanest water, but hey.
Oh no.
I'll drink anything at this point.
We're in survival mode. Well, you're in survival mode. I'm in survival mode for your survival.
And I appreciate that.
Alright. Drink. Let's keep going.
I drink.
Right, yeah. So you auger into the soil a little bit, and water bubbles up from the surface. You're able to scoop some up and drink a little bit just to get you through so you can continue on your way. So you continue moving, and again hours pass, and you end up passing across the path of a couple of these very large beasts on your way to get where you're going. Why don't you go ahead and make a survival hunting and fishing roll, Scarlet?
Okay. Again, I don't have any specialty ranks in this one. Ooh, it's a little better. I rolled a 9, and this is using my wits, which is much lower, so it's a 10.
Perfect. Now I want you to make a combat ranged weapon roll.
Okay. I do have a submachine gun that I am casually carrying around with me.
Do I know that the chemicals of the ammunition is gonna cause some issues for us organics as we eat?
Nope.
Wait,
didn't
you won't even need to use your gun for this. You can use that stick that you use to auger down into the soil to bring up some water. You think you could probably throw it like a javelin because you do have considerable strength as an android.
Okay.
So go ahead and make your roll. I'll apply a little negative modifier because it is not meant to be used as a javelin.
Okay, so how many die do I roll for this?
So you're
attack?
gonna roll your combat skill group. It's going to use your agility as your trait to determine your kept dice, and then any specialties or modifiers you have.
Cool. My combat's 5.
Yeah, so you're gonna roll 5, and then your agility's 3. So 5, keep 3.
Okay. Pulling out 5d6. Let's go for some lucky die here. All right. And I'm keeping the highest 3, you said?
Yep.
That's 12.
All right. So as these things flit from watering hole to watering hole, you've been paying attention as you go, using the eye of a hunter, if you will, to figure out sort of which ones are the stragglers, because they're different species, it looks like, and some are larger than others or slower than others, whatever the case may be. And so you peg one that you think is going to be easier for you to hit. And as they move to one of the footprints in front of you, you rear back and you throw this metallic rod like a javelin. Yeah. And you can hear a squawking sound as it makes contact and pins into the footprint. And the others, of course, scatter at that point, all honking and squawking and making a lot of noise as they part for a moment, going in all different directions, and then they come back together and they move to the next footprint. And
Scarlett's practicing for the Olympics and
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, you nailed one, which you're then going to be able to make a small campfire and cook it up for your companions so that they have something to eat as you continue to make your way day by day. Excellent. You do keep the fire small because you don't know if your friends in orbit are still watching the planet for any signs of life, but you do manage to make enough of a fire that you can cook the meat and make sure they don't get sick off eating it, and you continue on your way. So after 2.5 days go by of this moving from location to location for water and food, you finally reach this steep rocky plateau. And when you were about a day out, you could sort of see the edges of it, and you could see all this green foliage. And you could also see what looked like the tips of golden spires fallen apart. Like looks like they were once intricate and beautiful, but now they've sort of broken apart and fallen apart. But they're now just these like jagged, skeletal remains from the dying breath of a civilization that is long since dead.
Golden spires, huh?
How tall are the spires?
It's hard to gauge from where you are, but they clearly reach, well over 100 meters into the sky.
Not gonna climb that. Okay.
But the plateau is also very tall, but that looks roughly hewn. So it looks like you've got you took basic packs as you left, like survival packs, and so you do have climbing gear in the packs. It will probably take you a good 2 hours to try to scale this cliff face, but you think it's doable.
Is that our only option, is to go up?
Correct. It doesn't look like there's any lifts or elevators or anything else, stairs. It looks likely however they were getting on and off was likely related to whatever airships they once possessed, and you don't see anything around that could be used for that. So it looks like you're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way, the primitive way.
So can we
actually climbing.
in tangent work together to speed our way up to go up faster if we all work together?
Yes, so we can use cooperative skill rolls. So when you want to make a cooperative skill roll, it means that everyone is using their action points and their efforts to work together to accomplish a task that requires a skill roll. In this case, everyone sort of puts their heads together, and what happens is you end up taking the highest skill group ranks from whoever has the highest in the group. You then keep the highest applicable trait from whoever has the highest trait in the group. And then the same goes for specialty ranks and then modifiers. Whoever has the highest, they lend theirs to the pool. So who here has the highest athletics?
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna say this right now. It's probably Jess, for real.
Probably.
Like,
Yes.
my booty, like nothing. God.
I have a 4 in athletics.
You win.
Jesus. Yeah, you win.
And then what is your strength score? I think you've got the highest there too.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
4 plus
look
1.
Yeah,
Yup.
so 5. Okay, so you've got 5 strength. And then who has the highest specialty ranks and or modifiers for climb?
I have +2.
Plus 2.
Plus 3 in climb.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
yeah, with those arms, baby!
Yeah.
Nice. Alright, so Zara, who has spent much of her life climbing because Parborans live in tall trees on their jungle home planet, she knows the fundamentals of climbing really well. However, she's also very small and fairly frail, which is not uncommon for a species also. So, basically, she'll be giving pointers to Scarlet as Scarlet uses her athletic ability and raw strength to lead the pack, and you guys will all tie off to her. And as she goes up, she'll be planting, pittance and tying off and doing all these things to actually climb up as a group together. So, with the +3 modifier from Zara, why don't you go ahead and make that athletics roll, Scarlet?
Okay.
Come on, Jess. Come on.
So I'm gonna roll 46. 2, 3.
You'll keep all 4 because you are 5 in strength, and you'll get 1 rollover that will add to the roll.
Okay, I rolled pretty good. 20.
That's awesome. That's really good.
And will we use Zara's +3?
Yep.
Plus 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So-
cool. It's a cool mechanic.
I like it.
Yeah, it's tight.
So the TN to climb this was only 10 because it's a rough-hewn surface. There's lots of handholds and things to assist you as you climb up, and you blew it out of the water with more than a 20, so you'll be able to do it in half the time. As you climb up, there's no slip-ups, there's no loss of traction. You just very confidently, securely move from ledge to ledge, and you climb your way up without a problem. And you finally reach the top. And as you reach the top, you find yourself standing at the edge of this densely overgrown jungle. There are sounds of some seemingly small organisms, again, like bird-like creatures in the trees, skittering underfoot of small reptilian sort of creatures. And you start to make your way towards the interior, where the ruins are located.
Nice.
So you make your way into the ruins. You can talk if you want to on your way in.
I'm just gonna say, no, you go ahead.
Oh, it just feels so good to climb again. I feel like it's been years. I used to do this every day in the trees outside where I lived.
Yeah, do you live in trees?
That is a stereotype, actually.
Yeah, I mean all the illustrations that I've seen have you in trees. I didn't know if I was.
Actually, we live in a forest which has trees, but I do lived in a small palace.
Oh wow, was the palace in a tree?
Which happened to be the tree.
The palace is in a
ahead.
tree.
Oh, a palace.
Maybe.
It
wasn't really a palace, but I mean, my people struggled, and the trees, they provided cover, and it's really beautiful up there.
I'm
It really
confused. Did you live in a palace or did your people suffer?
I didn't live in a palace.
You didn't live in a palace. Okay.
No, I lived in the trees.
Oh,
It's beautiful up there.
But it sounds like your tree is a personal palace which is kind of like your ship, which is your personal palace.
Hey, can't argue with that.
Like my shop used to be my personal palace.
Yeah, it was a good shop.
Yeah, now...
So the Parborans, the trees on their planet are skyscraper-sized. And so they build these pre-hut villages around the trees. So it's like, is it a palace? I mean, by whose definition? But certainly, she wasn't just like strutting on branches. Like there were creature comforts in the trees, certainly.
I would like to, because I'm an android, I've got some pretty good perception ranks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to just keep my eyes and ears implants out for other creatures coming, suspicious noises.
Sure.
I think with my ocular implants, I can see through things. Right? I can see different. I don't have it pulled up right here, but
yeah, you can see different
like
wavelengths.
heat signatures. Same with
that's right. Heat
implants.
signatures. Yes, I'm looking it up in the book here. What it all does. Oh yeah, here it is. Wavelengths not normally available to their species. Visible light, infrared light, and night vision. Ooh hoo hoo. Yeah, I want to use that.
Okay. So currently it is during the day, so night vision isn't necessary, but you do use your thermal vision to sort of see heat signatures. And what you do see is there's sort of a baseline heat signature from the planets that have been absorbing the sunlight. And once in a while, the ambient light is broken by minor points of heat flying through the trees. Again, there's probably these little creatures, and again, on the ground, these little creatures. You can see these little blossoms, these blooms of heat once in a while. And then finally, you reach the edge of the line of trees, and you find yourself staring at the overgrown ruins of this alien civilization. Again, they've got these towering spires, these golden metallic spires rising from the plateau. And as you get closer, you now see that they've been uninhabited for a very long time. There are vines that have grown over it, and all these plants have sort of reclaimed what was once well-cultivated land, and it looks more wild and forgotten. As you look around with your thermal vision, you don't see any heat sources that would indicate potential powered mechanisms or anything. It appears, again, very, very dead, very old. And as you've gotten here, you've also noticed that some of the ambient noise of the jungle has died down a little bit, which leads to this sort of reverent stillness, that this seems to be, again, a graveyard of what was once a civilization. And you do notice, by the way, that there's no signs of violence here. It doesn't look like there was explosions or that there was some sort of war that was fought in this area. It literally looked like, for whatever reason, it was abandoned, or maybe there was a plague or something that just led to people dying off or leaving, and the city has just crumbled over time from lack of upkeep and from nature trying to reclaim it and from erosion and all these things. So it is a peaceful sort of rotting of technology that you're witnessing in these ruins.
Celica.
Yes.
I don't understand. I'm not seeing any sign of struggle. It's been overgrown for, years. How did this orb end up here? Where is this information from? How does it have AI?
To be honest with you, I am not quite sure myself. This is some sort of technology I'm not familiar with, but would really love to get familiar with. Scanning as well with my ocular implants and listening in, I don't hear anything out of the ordinary.
Can I roll for it to detect sentience, see if there's any drones or anything around? Okay.
And what do you roll for that?
That's going to be a psionics skill group roll with a psionics trait that you can actually sense living sentience.
Oh, wow, it's
So
actually
sick.
a whole skill, detect sentience.
Yeah.
So sick.
Aim plus... Whoa. 23.
Woo!
Plus 5.
Yeah!
So now again, detect sentience is one of these scaling rolls. It's a perception-based roll, and therefore it scales. So based on the amount you get, for example, at low levels, like a TN5, you'll just detect the number of sentient minds within a certain radius. And then as you get higher, you can detect their species and, how they self-identify and what their current emotional state is, and so on and so forth as you get to the more elevated levels. So you got a 23, which is a really high result and can give you a lot of information. But as you reach out, you find... With the exception of the bright point of Celica beside you, you find emptiness.
Guys, we're all alone. There's not another soul here for miles.
Good.
I think that's a good thing.
I'm not gonna argue with that, but that also means there's no resources.
That sounds like a bad thing. Okay. With my knowledge of searching and reading the dark web so many times, do I have any more idea as to where this potential...
Yes. So based on the initial records, it appeared that this golden orb was perhaps venerated by this society, and so it was likely in some sort of temple construct. And so you can... as you wander around, you can look for something that may have been built in a way that indicates importance of some variety.
Okay, I relay that info, and also I'm just looking around.
Sure.
Can I?
In short order, it takes you maybe 20 minutes of wandering through these ruins when you find this area that's sort of isolated from the buildings around it. And there appear to be ornate structures that don't have obvious form or function, which likely may be art of some kind. And so you figure that this may be some sort of temple or museum or something of importance that holds something of value inside.
This might be the place. Look at it. There's all these beautiful, intricate structures that's surrounding this specific location. So, idea, and I know I haven't had many bright ideas for the last 2 days, but we can definitely try to see if this is where this orb is located, and maybe we can use this to shut down like Adeline?
Aladyne.
I was like Cyberdyne. Aladyne. Aladyne systems.
You've crossed the streams.
Ah! It's all in my brain. It's going crazy. My chip is malfunctioning. But yes.
Don't worry, you can repair that.
I can fix it. Cool. So do I finally locate this structure, and am I able to somehow open it or something?
Yeah, so it's actually open. So as you walk up to it, there's these large steps leading up to this large, opening with columns, and it's meant to be, again, sort of reverent an entryway that you're passing through. It's supposed to evoke some sort of emotion, some sense of awe as you enter. And as you enter, there's literally just one elevated altar, and upon the altar sits the golden orb.
Oh,
Itchin.
This feels
scary.
too easy.
Wait. It's way too easy. There's gonna be a trapper or something.
Can I scan for any sort of mechanical trap or?
So nothing. You can spend some time looking around. Nothing jumps out at you. It doesn't appear to be trapped in any way. One thing does jump out at you, though. So this looks very much like the orb that you saw the image of, but the circuitry, the intricate circuitry woven into this golden orb, isn't glowing in the way that it was depicted when you saw it.
This thing is not glowing, and all the information that I've researched, it says it's glowing. Why is it not glowing? Maybe it's broken. Maybe that's why no one took it. Maybe this is why it's too easy. It's not working, it's broken, but maybe we can fix it.
Well, if anyone can, it's you.
Well, I hope I can. I don't know what this is.
There's gotta be a way to activate it.
Well, look. I think if anybody touches it, it should be Not me.
Can
Not
you all make a perception hearing skill roll?
Yes.
And what I was referencing, Dan, is that because I'm an android, I take 1.5 damage from electric.
Oh.
More damage from electric?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't want to.
Right, in case it fritzes out and shocks you. So basically, when androids take electric damage, in addition to the physical heat damage it deals to your body points, or BP, it also short circuits some of the connections in their artificial cortex, and therefore they take half again. It's called MP damage. So half the damage that was dealt to their body also is dealt to their mind, as those synapses get fried.
Wow. Yeah. So we're rolling perception. Just a straight perception check.
With so it's perception, keep wits, and then your hearing specialties and mods apply.
I got 16.
I got a dirty 20.
Ooh,
Dirty 20.
nice.
So I have a 4 in perception, but a 3 in wits. So I'm gonna roll 4, keep 3,
Keep 3 highest, yep.
and then
if you have anything in hearing, that applies to the end roll.
so that's 13, 14, 15.
All right, everybody hears this. So you're standing there within this temple or museum or library, whatever it is that you're standing in, having a discussion about who should try to take this thing off and whether it's working, whatever else. And you hear fairly heavy sounding metallic footsteps making their way from a side room, heading out into the main room where you're located. They're moving slowly, but they sound like solid, sure footsteps. And this bipedal construct walks into view and tilts what appears to be its head slightly. It has several eyes in what appears to be a facial structure. And it's a bipedal, humanoid-looking construct with 2 arms. It seems fairly girthy, fairly well built, and it turns and it cocks its head as though listening.
Do we have a show and tell for this guy?
We don't.
Okay.
We don't.
Okay. I'm going to quickly roll an illusion that he sees the room as normal and we are no longer there.
Oh,
Ooh, Zara! I thought you said there was no sentient.
I didn't detect him. I don't know. But hold on. I'll make this right.
Fix your
I'll make this
detectors.
So you reach out to try to weave an illusion, but as you reach out, you find only void where he's standing.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Hide.
Is it an
Everybody
illusion?
hide.
Wait. Why?
wait.
Why?
Wait, is the guard an illusion?
Is it not working?
Wait. Scarlet's right. If I can't detect sentience.
So the being speaks after a moment. Assessment. Non-native organic constructs. Linguistic patterns recognized. Determination. Threat level low. Hospitality protocols initiated. Welcome to Jeshan. I am a keeper. I will respond to any queries to the best of my ability.
Oh.
Wow, this is absolutely magnificent. So where are we? And what is this place?
Are we in danger?
It pauses for a moment. Assessment. Threat level low. Response. Where you are is a place of knowledge.
And, is this orb broken?
It looks at where you're looking and turns back to you. Response. The orb no longer functions as intended. Its purpose was already served.
What was its purpose?
Its purpose was to contain knowledge.
And how was this orb activated?
Others, like you.
Well, others like her, meaning their build or type?
It turns its head slightly. Determination. Query unclear. Provide additional input.
So androids or any sort of mechanical robotics or organics?
Response. Organic constructs.
Where did they go?
Response. The constructs returned to Corsair.
Okay. Corsair. Do we know what that is? Corsair. Keeper. What is Corsair?
Response. Corsair is the vessel the organic constructs arrived on.
Oh, a ship.
That the Keeper doesn't react at all to your...
Keeper. Is the Corsair a spacecraft?
Response. The Corsair is space travel capable.
Oh, we could get the ship.
Well, if they haven't already taken off. Okay, so they activated the orb, they took the information, and they got out of here. But they left the orb. Why would they leave the orb?
Maybe we should take the orb, just in case.
Keeper, why did they leave the orb here?
Response. The orb already served its function. Assessment. The shell was no longer required once the knowledge was transferred.
Keeper, do you have the knowledge that was contained inside the orb?
Response. The Keepers were not designed to contain the information within the orb.
Okay. Well,
Keeper, maybe we can inspect it.
Do you have any food?
It pauses and turns its head again. Determination. There are fruits that grow in the surrounding jungle that should sustain organic constructs, as it sustained the other organic constructs which came before you.
Great.
Keeper, what happened to the other organic? What happened to the people that lived here, the inhabitants?
Query in return. Which inhabitants are you referring to? The makers or the organic constructs which took the orb?
Keeper, the first. What happened to the organics that lived here first?
Response. The makers created the Keepers to watch over the ruins. The makers were organic constructs who built this city. The last of the makers ceased functioning 1,859 revolutions prior to this exchange. Genetic tampering led to the loss of fertility, and cloning was an imperfect process. In time, their numbers dwindled. I am the last functioning Keeper. The only intelligent constructs on this planet, organic or otherwise, are you, and me, and Corsair.
Corsair
Keeper,
is
are
still
you-
on the planet.
Verified.
Go ahead, Zara.
Keeper, are you bound to this place?
Response. My purpose is to watch over these ruins so that they are not desecrated.
Would taking the orb desecrate this space?
Verified.
Ugh, alright, well.
However, the organic constructs did not take the orb. They transferred its contents to the Corsair.
Okay.
So what we need is on the Corsair.
the Corsair is a ship, then perhaps they...
Or not, so it doesn't respond to you.
I think they, from what I'm gathering from the Keeper, it's possible that this information was uploaded into the spacecraft.
Yes.
We just have to hope that those organics died? I don't know why else they wouldn't have been able to take off. They could still be living there, but if it's a desert, then hopefully they went out to seek food and shelter.
Please rephrase as a query.
I wasn't talking to you, Keeper.
It seems satisfied by this answer, and there's a visible change in its posture.
So what we need to do is ask the Keeper to locate this Corsair, and then this Corsair is going to be our ticket out of here, and also get a better understanding of what was transferred from the orb to the Corsair.
Yes.
Okay. I look at the Keeper. Keeper, where is the Corsair?
Assessment. Are you addressing the Keeper now?
Yes, I am addressing the Keeper.
Hey, Siri.
I know, right? Hey, Google. Hey, Alexa. Hey, Keeper. I am addressing you now, and where is the Corsair located?
I can lead you to the Corsair.
Oh, that's even better. Okay.
Are there any additional queries?
Are there guns anywhere? I want guns.
What your species recognizes as weapons are stored aboard the Corsair.
Ooh, hello.
All right, well, let's go.
All right, so this large metallic construct plods past you and down the steps and leads you through the ruins of the city, serenely walking. As it walks, some small organisms sort of skitter to avoid being stomped, but they don't seem to be terribly afraid of the construct. And it pays them no heed as it walks. And it finally leads you back out of the city and into the jungle and to this small clearing, which looks like it would have once been one of the landing platforms that you recognized when you were in orbit. And you come to a ship. You can actually show this one. I sent this image to you earlier. This is the Scarlet. Well, this is another ship. This is what you see. This is the Corsair, except it's covered in vines. It's completely overgrown. But it's this ship that is roughly equivalent in size to what Scarlet Talon was. A twitch bigger, a little bit bigger, but basically equivalent. But clearly better outfitted with weaponry and sensor arrays from what you can see.
Cool.
Oh, this is absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness, it's Corsair. I've never been on one before, but always wanted to. But my goodness, it's big and wow. We can definitely take on any sort of Yamato anything with this Corsair. Oh my goodness, look at the weaponry, look at the sensor arrays. Oh my god, look, it's still
This is good. Yep.
And
can
we
you
got a new
detect
ship. We
sentience?
got a new ship.
Zara?
I can.
Okay.
Let me make sure that it's clear. Hold on, before we go in there. I'm gonna roll. Detect sentience is psionics 5 plus
nice.
4. So get rid of the 2 because I don't need that. Plus 5. Oh wow. 6. 21.
So you reach out with your mind and you don't sense anything organic and sentient within the ship or the surrounding area.
I go, guys, the coast is clear. Scarlet, looks like you got yourself a new rig.
Woo!
New ship for you.
Yes! Today was a terrible day and also a very lucky day. Let's board. And I'm gonna go search for the computers on the ship to see if wherever that information might have been uploaded.
So you head over to the ship, but you notice that the platform to access the ship isn't responding. That it looks like the console's dead. It's not. The ship isn't powered.
Can I look around and see if there's any way I can like start the ship or any sort of diagnostics?
Not from outside.
Okay.
So we can't open this ship, essentially. We can't get up to it.
Can I use one of my drones to fly up and then from the drone power into the ship?
No.
Can I just climb up to the top and see if I can open something?
So you clamber up and you're all looking around, and the keeper is just standing by the edge of the clearing watching all of you.
And I go, Keeper! How do you get in this thing?
The keeper looks up and then says, "It is your desire to enter the Corsair."
Yes.
The keeper pauses for a moment, and then it turns and it looks over in the clearing, and you can see towards the edge of the clearing there appear to be several stone, what look like roughly made headstones. And the keeper seems to be deep in thought for a moment, and then it looks back towards you, and it says, "Very well." And it opens its palm and points at the ship, and the ship just seems to thrum to life. And the palm opens to allow entrance, and it lowers its hand again.
You said there were headstones? Gravestones?
Mm-hmm.
Can we look?
Keeper, why are those gravestones there? To whom do they belong?
These are the graves of the crew of the Corsair. They arrived 75 revolutions prior to this exchange. There were 3 organic constructs that arrived with the Corsair. They have ceased functioning and have been laid to rest here.
Huh.
Keeper, how did they die?
Response. As with all organics, they were frail. They perished with wear and tear.
This might be insensitive. I'm just gonna preface that right now, but, it's possible they were buried with some tech we could use. Is anybody opposed to, seeing if they are?
Something I'd like to ask Keeper. Keeper, do you know who they are, if they presented any sort of identification?
Response. I did not know their self-identifying terms. They were of multiple species. They were peaceful while they were here. Others came before them and left periodically. It is my understanding they were refugees. The final among them came here to retire. They perished of natural causes.
Yeah. Look, it's only gonna take me a couple minutes to just dig down and see if they've got anything.
Can I see if he's lying? I know he's not exactly a human, but I don't know if I trust him. Can I?
Sure, so you can make a, this would be a perception empathy skill roll, with your wits as the associated trait.
Okay.
Yeah, like, is he programmed to say that
Yeah,
before,
I don't
like,
know.
the people bounced out?
Let's see.
Bounced.
14? Not great.
He appears, as far as you can tell, to be telling you factual information.
Okay. Well, on the bright side, they died of their own volition. They weren't murdered or killed.
That's true, and they were peaceful people. So maybe if we peacefully dig up their graves
And honor them.
Honor them.
We'll honor them, and then we'll also repurpose their augmentations and put them to good use in honor of them.
Yeah, look, I'm only trying to spend about 10 minutes doing this, so, it should be fine. And, Scarlett's gonna robotically use her strength, her steel body, to just dig into the first grave and see if she can
So-
unearth any tech they can use.
So as you go there and you start digging, with surprising speed, the keeper is suddenly beside you, and he actually forcibly grabs one of your...
Whoa, buddy. What's up?
He's holding you firmly. He doesn't appear to be trying to hurt you, but clearly was stopping you.
Excuse me?
The keeper's eyes stare directly at you.
You're gonna touch a lady like that?
Determination, you are aware this is morally questionable.
Keeper, your morals are programmed into you. Leave me be.
The keeper
Isn't
turns
that
its
the
head
same
slightly.
way?
Huh?
I sense that you
And
are
I go,
not...
Jackhammer.
I sense that you are not like your companions, despite looking and sounding like them. You are far more like I am.
All right, this has been great conversation, Keeper, but what I'm doing now doesn't concern you, so you can just take a seat.
I am programmed not to allow the ruins to be desecrated.
These aren't the ruins of the orb, these aren't the ruins of your makers, okay? These are just some other people who decided to land on this planet.
The keeper considers this for a moment and then looks down at the graves and looks back at you and says, I cannot allow you to dig them up.
Okay.
Look, the keeper has definitely been helpful and definitely generous with all this information. And you know what? The keeper also gave us this Corsair. The keeper was able to open the Corsair. Maybe we could just thank the keeper, thank the space, and maybe get out of here.
From what I know of, tech that may or may not be more similar to me, this is gonna take a while to get him to change his mind. We just don't have time right now, so... All that to say, I agree. Can you let me go, please?
The keeper unclenches
Thank you.
its fist. And as you walk away, it turns back to the grave, and after a moment, leans over and begins gently sweeping the soil back over the...
I love it.
Patting it down gently.
So cute. Okay, let's go. Scarlett's gonna get walk onto the ship and start to look for that
Cool.
information.
I also start checking everything out, plug myself into the system and see if what's going on with this ship and the diagnostics and why it hasn't moved for a while. And if it hasn't moved for a while, is everything still okay? If there's life support, artificial gravity, everything's a-okay. That's basically what I'm doing.
And I'm
Sure.
going to use my forearms to rummage through every cabinet, every file, see if there's any information or anything I can find of use.
Sure. So you start going through everything. One thing you do find is in the cockpit, there's actually a gold plate, and in it is etched what appear to be names of previous captains, maybe, or previous crews. And so the last name etched in is Griff Callan. But for some reason, you get the feeling that that's not who died here, right? He mentioned the fact that they were like refugees or something. So that may have been the last proper captain of the ship, but you have a feeling that that's not who settled on this planet. And then as you're also rummaging around other parts of the ship, you're in like the crew area, you actually notice some like semi-hollow, like essentially photographs of like various crew members, like palling around about the ship and stuff. Like the ship definitely has a personality and a history to it. While Celica is poking around in the engineering bay, you realize that you're going to be able to get the power grid up and running again, but you can, from what you've been able to determine, it looks like the FTL, the faster than light drive, it's missing a few components at this point, probably from damage. And you figure if you can get it flying again, and you can make it to the wreckage of the Talon, you can probably salvage enough parts to make it fully operational again.
Great. Awesome. Love that. Is there some sort of speaker system here?
Yep. So you're gonna go ahead and make a system ops roll to just boot up everything again. Just restart the computer.
All right. Let's see what my new friend is capable of. Yeah. Oh, I got 3 6s and I haven't even counted the other stuff yet.
Doesn't matter. You got an exceptional success. That's an automatic success.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's like 20 something, close to 30. Yep.
Right. 3 or more 6s is a critical success. So you get everything running again, and again the power grid clicks a few times and then fires up, and the lights start to come on all the displays, and you can feel this thrum as this powerful engine comes to life. And you can hear the sounds of various systems booting up. Lights turn on. You can actually hear the contactors clicking as they pull in, and lights turn on throughout the ship. Indicator lights show up on the floor to show that the artificial gravity system is alive and well. And the ship just starts to slowly, like coming out of a deep sleep, it sort of shrugs off some of the dust and just starts to thrum to life. As it comes to life, Scarlet, you are in the cockpit as all the lights start to power up, come on. The familiar hum of power moving through the circuitry. And there's a sputtering sound as a hologram appears. The hologram has sort of a generic humanoid appearance, no identifying features or programmed gender or anything. It's just this sort of vague humanoid shape, and it flickers to existence and says, "Greetings."
Hi.
I am the Corsair.
Hi, Corsair.
Identify.
Scarlet, android.
Scarlet, are you new admin user?
Yes, I am.
Are there additional users?
Confirming.
Voice recognition online, waiting for command prompts.
Show me most recent uploaded files.
Replaying recorded files, and it names some dates and whatever else that mean very little because of relativity, but it shows you images of what appear to be people who are maybe downtrodden, a little dirty or whatever, arriving on this planet and building this small little village around the area where the ship landed, and just sort of living this pastoral sort of lifestyle.
Okay. Search keyword Aladdin.
Searching keyword Aladdin. It brings up some basic files. The files appear outdated by a number of years, but it brings up files just sort of about the Aladdin mega corporation.
Show damage diagnostics of the ship.
It shows the damage diagnostics. It appears that there was some damage that the ship sustained during some sort of a dogfight that happened years before it even landed here, that for some reason was never repaired.
Okay. Celica, Zara?
Yes, here. The ship looks like in fine shape, but it looks like there's some damage sustained from the FTL. So I'd like to propose another idea. Yes, so what you can do is you can manually drive this beautiful piece of contraption over to where we landed earlier, and then we can salvage some of that FTL and we can transfer that in here, and that's how we're able to get out of Jeshan.
Okay.
As Celica speaks, the ship's computer program interrupts for a moment and says, "New voice pattern recognized. New user identified. Shall I assign this user admin privileges?"
Confirming.
Confirmed. Identify new user. And at this point, you hear this now where you are in the engineering bay.
I look around me and I'm like, Celica Riggs.
Celica Riggs, new user identified. Admin privileges granted.
Excellent.
I already asked it to look up Aladdin, most recent files. Not getting anything that's seemingly information from the orb. I'm not sure what else to search. Computer, search keyword orb.
Searching keyword orb, Jeshan Orb. And you see an image of the Jeshan Orb glowing.
Computer, is there any information associated with this keyword?
Information, Jeshan Orb. Contained advanced artificial intelligence program.
Is this artificial intelligence located on this craft?
Speaking.
Oh, I heard that.
So you are the artificial intelligence.
Correct.
You are the information from the Jeshan Orb.
Correct.
Whoa, 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 whoa! I run over to cockpit area just to be a part and just be there.
The hologram turns to face you as you enter, acknowledging your existence.
Okay, Celica, can you put this on speaker so Zara can hear us?
Yes, no problem. And then...
Okay, I searched Aladyne. Nothing came up.
These files look quite old, though.
Search keyword Alabaster.
Again, it gives you sort of generic information. This ship does not seem to have any ties to Martin Alabaster or the Aladyne Mega Corporation.
So it seems like this is the advanced AI that was in the orb. This is insane!
I was uploaded to the ship's computer core by a previous crew member identified as Gecko.
Gecko. And what is your purpose?
Purpose not understood.
What is your... how do I put this in computer terms? What is your directive?
I do not understand.
What is your last command?
To bring the refugees to this planet so they could resettle safely. Previous captain identified Griff Callan. Granted his ship to refugees to allow safe resettlement.
Celica, I thought you said this AI had something to do with the Aladyne.
Oh,
Alabaster.
that's what it should. That is the theory. That is what everyone is saying in the dark web. Maybe we're not asking the proper questions. Corsair. Where were you before crashing into Jeshan?
We did not crash onto Jeshan. We landed on Jeshan safely.
Okay, where was your previous location?
It brings up a number of previous systems that the ship had been located.
Can I hear all this commotion and come in?
Sure.
Well, we put you on speaker so you can hear everything.
Okay.
It's blasting throughout the ship.
As I rummage through.
Yeah, did you wanna run in and say something?
I'll continue to search for the moment, and if I come up empty-handed, I'm gonna come in.
Okay.
Corsair, do you have any sort of other identification aside your ship name?
I did not have a name before being uploaded to the ship's computer core by the one known as Gecko. My understanding is that Gecko did not upload me to the computer with purpose, but as a safety measure to avoid me being captured by opposing forces.
Who are the opposing forces?
Mercenaries. Contractor unknown. They boarded the Corsair. I assisted the crew in repelling them.
Do you have any sort of security that you can show us how these mercenaries and contractors look like?
So it pulls it up. They don't, purposefully, they don't seem to have any identifying logos or anything on their uniforms. That they're clearly independent contractors. You don't know who hired them. It's probably not a huge leap to assume it was Aladyne. But you do see that over the course of this battle when they were boarded, which happened at an undisclosed time, the crew, who they were at the time, which does not appear to look like the refugees you saw in the most recent footage, fought off these attackers, and the ship seemed to interact during the battle in ways that are not common for a ship to interact. For example, certain valves were opened automatically to, like, bathe some of the attackers in radioactive heated gas and things like that. That basically the ship itself was fighting back, which is very unusual.
The ship itself was fighting back under its own power?
That's what it would appear like from what you're seeing. There was no one in the cockpit on the time the footage was shot, and yet certain systems were being operated with everyone, all the crew were occupied in this shootout happening on board, and yet things were happening.
So this is the advanced AI and what's capable of doing. This is astounding.
AI? Computer? What is your name?
Corsair.
Yes,
when
I
were
asked.
You created?
It pauses for a moment, appearing to, like, try to be deep diving into its core. Unclear. Please provide time construct.
How many years ago were you created?
Relative to which system?
Which system am I from?
Well, as far as you know, you were built on Bandor.
Bandor system.
3,000 revolutions of Bandor.
Well, I don't know what else to ask it. I turn on the speaker. Zara, any ideas here?
Hold on, I'm coming down. And I walk in.
You clamber down and walk into the cockpit.
Okay, so you've asked the computer multiple questions and haven't got any answer.
Well, we've gotten answers, but nothing related to this mystery of
Species not recognized. Identify.
Is he talking to me?
Yeah, I think
the
so.
shape is looking in your direction.
Oh, hi. I'm Zara. Parboran?
Zara Parboran is this species designation.
No. I mean, I am Parboran. My name is Zara. Zara Conclex, actually.
I understand. Tell me more about Parboran species designation.
We're like neon colors, so I happen to be blue. But I have spots of different colors. I got 4 eyes so I can see things, and 4 arms.
So
I like to think I'm tall.
As Zara is speaking, there's a change in the hologram slightly. And you start to pick up after you talk to it for a while that, like, based on how much information it's processing, it sort of, like, changes in color and activity slightly, because there's a bit of like a white noise behind it, almost like a vibrational frequency as it operates the hologram, which is normal. And as it's doing more work, if you will, as it's processing more information, it starts to vibrate at a higher frequency. And so you notice as she's talking, it's tuned in more. It's starting to vibrate more as it's incorporating this information into its server. And so she talks for a while. Blah blah. You tell it basics about Parborans, and it's hungry for the information. It's just absorbing the information.
And we live in palaces.
After you're sort of done speaking, it thanks you for providing it with information.
It's learning everything. Have I seen anything from the dark web related to Gecko? With this code Gecko?
You haven't seen anything previously, but if you were to tap into the quantum net at some point through a satellite, you'll be able to do some research. That name may come up.
Can I tap into Corsair and look it up?
You can. So Gecko is a Rigelian. He was a member of the previous crew. You can go ahead and throw up a photo of an image of a Rigelian if you'd like here.
Yes. There we go.
So that is a Rigelian. They're a reptilian species of humanoid creatures. And so he was a member of the previous crew that was operating under the captainship of Griff Callan, who was a human.
And what's the name of the? I forgot.
Corsair?
Yeah. I wrote it down.
The name of the ship, right? The name of the ship is the Corsair. It seems to be self-identifying as the ship.
Corsair, what was the last program updated?
It gives you a number. I think it's like 10 years ago.
Corsair, has anyone entered your your walls in the past 10 years?
No. That was when the last of the refugees passed.
Is any part of your system locked that you cannot access?
No.
Corsair, are we allowed to drive you?
You are now admin users. You have full privileges.
Okay, so Scarlet, shall we go pitch this FTL up and go to our old ship and
Might as well.
some parts?
Okay.
Excellent.
So Scarlet will start to lock in and get the ship moving so that we can kind of slide over to where we first landed.
So you nestle into the comfortable seats and start to do your pre-flight
Ooh.
check.
This is
Yeah.
nice.
This is some high quality. This ship was well invested in. Some high quality parts here. And like they adjust to your size. When you sit in them, and they start to make automatic adjustments to like your species.
Okay.
And as you're doing a pre-flight check, the hologram of the artificial intelligence turns for a moment, looking out the cockpit, and you see the maker you see the keeper is standing at the base of the ship, and it puts its hand on the hull of the ship for a moment, and then the hologram says, "Goodbye, old friend." Mm-hmm. And the keeper takes its hand away and then turns and starts walking back towards the ruins.
Aw.
Cute robot. Okay, yeah, so Scarlet's firing up and gonna fly over to the shipwreck.
Alright, so make a piloting skill roll, please. But before you do, the AI, the Corsair's artificial intelligence turns and says, "Would you like to connect?"
Confirming.
So you see a little port open up by the side of your chair for you to connect your cerebral data jack to.
Okay.
Ooh.
Corsair, scan for viruses.
No viruses found.
Great, plugging in.
So you plug in. Now, keep in mind, your normal 2 in piloting you do not have because you are still under the reprogramming for survival. Mm-hmm. But because you are jacked in, you are now rolling and keeping 1 additional die when controlling the ship to do anything from using the computers to piloting to all that stuff. Whenever you're interfacing with the technology, if you're jacked into it through a cerebral data jack, you get that bonus.
Okay. 1 and 1?
Roll 1, keep 1.
Okay.
So, go ahead and make your piloting skill roll.
Roll 1, okay. 5.
Okay,
Plus,
so...
do I use my pilot skill?
You do get your specialty,
My
yeah, your
modifier?
specialty modifiers, yeah.
Does my specialty rank count for anything? Here?
Yeah, so your specialty rank and your modifiers together is your modifier to the skill roll.
So 9.
So you're getting an overall plus 2 from your specialty and 2 for the modifier from your advantages. That's a total of plus 4.
Okay.
Okay. And of course any rollover from wits that you don't get to.
Well, I only kept 1. My wits is a 3, so
yeah. So you get an additional 2. Yeah,
okay.
so you get an overall +6.
Okay, so it's an 11 total.
Perfect. So the ship hums to life, and you can feel its power. It's got a lot more kick than the Talon had. Now, in the process of you learning a little more about the ship and sort of just looking through the basics, you were able to determine that. Let me just pull up its specs here. You were able to determine that this is an Arcadis class light freighter. Now, the Arcadis class was originally designed as like a salvage ship for towing derelict starships and transporting parts and things, but it was relatively inexpensive, and so it very often was bought and then like overhauled, and people customized it and did whatever they wanted to it. And as you're now like tapped in with your data jack, you're getting a much more succinct and easy to understand sort of layout of everything at your disposal, because there's all these like augmented reality prompts of like what you can activate and all those other things. And you realize there are so many aftermarket systems on this thing.
Nice.
And so like there's military grade technology. Whoever had this ship was not towing things, right? They were into some weird shit, right? These people were getting into fights and doing all kinds of stuff. So you feel these powerful aftermarket engines kick on and thing rumbles up, sending dust and parts of vines and debris scattering out across the what used to be a landing platform, and you take to the sky and start to fly over the plateau. Now, once you start flying and you fire this thing up, if anything's in orbit, they're probably going to detect the signature from the ship.
Okay, we gotta make this fast.
You're gonna have to make it fast. So you go zooming over the off the plateau and over the mud flaps, flying around some of these lumbering, peaceful creatures that again pay you no heed as you weave around them, and you make your way towards the wreckage of the Talon. Go ahead and make another piloting skill roll to safely among the sand.
Okay. Oh no, that's an 8.
Okay. Now this is a kind of difficult landing. You're not landing on a platform or anything, and if you do it wrong, you may sink into the sand or something.
Oh.
You start to pilot down, and you're coming in at a weird angle, and you feel you're at a weird angle, but some of that piloting skill you had before, you don't have at your disposal right now.
You should have reprogrammed me before I did this. Who let me do this?
So you have this gut check moment of panic of like, oh no, this is wrong, but you don't know how to fix it. And then suddenly you hear the artificial intelligence voice say, correcting, and the ship stabilizes.
Oh!
Yeah.
Autopilot, yes! Yes, I love this new ship.
Amazing.
And then,
Upgraded AI, yes, for the win.
and then the ship says, Captain, may I make a recommendation?
This is the politest ship I've ever been on. Yes, Corsair.
Landing may prove difficult because of the weight of the ship. I suggest we hover.
Hey, if you can hover, hover.
Stabilizing. And so that the ships, you can hear the various jets activating to level it off and keep it low to the ground, but not laying its weight on the sand.
Very cool, Corsair. Very cool. Showing off. I get it.
Opening cargo bay.
Okay, let's move.
Someone else in the ship, the cargo bay opening. And so you make your way over, and you can see that the platform has lowered such that it's now only like a meter or 2 off the ground. You can jump down into the sand and not get hurt.
Okay, let's gather what we need. These FTLs.
Yeah, I do that.
I'm gonna make sure that I leave with my assault rifle. Got that, packing that.
Sure.
That heat.
Yeah, so you're quickly grabbing supplies that you can from the wreckage, whatever's left intact. Celica, you grab your remaining 2 drones, power them up, get them to move over onto the Corsair. And you still have that survival, so Scarlet, why don't you make a survival salvage roll?
Yes.
Find the parts that you need for with guidance from Celica to find the parts you need to make the repairs you need.
Okay, these are wits. So that's 10, and this is a salvage. I don't have any modifiers in that, so straight 10.
Perfect. Okay. So you find that the parts you need. It won't be a quick fix. You do hear over your comms the voice of the ship say, "Detecting starships in orbit.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
YPF cruisers closing quickly. What are your orders, Captain?"
How fast can we get these parts?
Not quick.
We got
but-
starships incoming.
Oh no.
Uh,
Well, you can either engage them, or I can try to fix this while you're engaging.
How badly do we need it? Right now.
Well, this is the only way we can, zoom out into a different planet. Unless we want to manually just drive there, which takes significant amount of effort.
oh no.
And
What's
a lot slower.
Correction. Secondary drive available.
Well,
what is does Scarlet know what a secondary drive is?
No.
Corsair, what is a secondary drive?
The Corsair is equipped with a secret secondary drive, an Aurelium drive.
What?
Aurelium drives, common to Yamato vessels.
Aurelium drive.
I'm familiar with how they work, right?
Yeah, it's another. So basically, the different factions have developed different ways of achieving faster than light travel. The Centennium, which were the maker of the Tyro class and also the maker of this Arcadis class, utilize gravitonium drives that create these anomalies similar to, very high dense gravity, almost like black holes, but they move with the ship in front of the ship and drag it through space, warping space-time around them. Aurelium drives utilize another omega element, because gravitonium is an omega element. Aurelium drives utilize Aurelium gas, which is highly excitable gas, that when you introduce a jolt of energy to their molecules, they basically break the first law of thermodynamics and they produce more energy than they should, which allows you to essentially punch a brief hole through space-time to jump to your destination. The differences between them: gravitonium drives are more stable, they wreak less havoc on the ship, but they have a spool-up time, which means you've got to jump before somebody tries to gravity lock you or do something that prevents you from jumping. Aurelium drives fire up almost immediately, the downside being they use so much of the ship's power to get that reaction going that when you arrive at your destination, your systems are down for a short time until they reboot because of the jump. But this ship was built with this drive that it actually sort of unfolds from the back of the ship and it can fold up again. It's a secret secondary drive that gives you options of how you want to jump, whether it's the one or the other. So you can wait.
That's so tight.
Looks like we're engaging this Aurelium drive.
Yeah, so it turns out your gravitonium drive is currently down and needs repairs, but the Aurelium drive is still functional.
Well,
No, Scarlet, push it.
All right.
Alright, so you get everything back on, you jump up to the ship. Go ahead and
I'll fix it later.
Make your jump checks. There is a little gap. You've got to jump up onto this platform.
Oh, back up.
You got to hop back up.
Oh no.
Me too, or am I on the ship?
Whichever. I didn't know if you jumped down with them or not. Oh, no, you did because
no.
you were salvaging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the ship is just in autopilot mode right now.
Okay. And athletics is you're keeping your agility?
For the case of jump, and the character sheet's actually a little wrong, I apologize, needs to be updated. For jump, it's either agility or strength, whichever is higher.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
Alright, we roll.
still rolled like garbage. 8, 9.
It's not a big distance.
11. 11.
So, yeah, that's fine. You're able to jump up and grab on and pull yourself up onto the platform.
Rolled an 8.
All right, so you jump up. You get some of your fingers onto it, and you hang there for a moment. But you're like, nope, can't pull myself up here. Need help.
Help, guys, help!
Scarlet will run back and give her a hand.
Right, which also makes sense because Parborans are vertically challenged compared to humans and androids. So that's a bigger jump for you.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Thanks.
And what did you get, Celica?
Right. Sorry, I was taking notes. All right.
All right.
Fine. climb. So jump. Oh, I get 2, an additional 2, because I bought that advantage. 14, 15, 16.
Perfect. All right, you jump easily also and make it onto the platform. So the 3 of you are now on the platform, and as you enter the ship, the platform just closes behind you automatically.
Oh, beautiful.
And before you even get to the cockpit, the ship is already moving, starting to make its way up to orbit.
Okay.
So by the time you reach the cockpit, you see Sky, and you're on your way.
Woo! Here we go!
We're out of here.
I would suggest strapping in.
Oh.
Yeah. This
I
thing
love
is gonna be
that.
your new best friend.
It's already my best friend. It's got us out of that big jam. So I strap in.
It's so damn cool, and I strap in also.
Okay. So you make it into orbit as these cruisers are gaining on you, and they start firing their weapons at you. And the Corsair asks, "Shall I engage evasive maneuvers?"
Yes.
This is amazing.
The view screen shifts wildly as the ship begins to weave and spin, rolling out of the way of the oncoming fire. And as the cruisers launch their trademark missiles again, the ship automatically engages countermeasures to block all but one of the missiles that shatters harmlessly against the shields, which appear hardier than the Talon shields were.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Input destination.
Where are we going, Celica?
Is there some sort of...
There's a momentary sputter, and then the ship says, hold on 1 second. The ship says, incoming message.
Accept.
Message dated, and you can see it's dated from several years before. On the screen of you, it's a visual audio message. On the screen, you see an image of a Rigelian, different from Gecko. Gecko, is that you? It's Spike. We need to talk. These are the last known coordinates I have for you. I'm not sure if you still run with Callan's crew or not. Anyway, I need a favor. Well, it's a job offer really, but you'd be doing me a favor if you took it. A client of mine needs something done. It's dangerous, but it pays well. It's for a good cause, too. I know Griff won't let you take just any job. Still, I can't say more here over the net, but if you come find me, I think you'll want to hear what I have to say. I'm holed up on Unity Station these days. I know, Union space seems like a weird place for me to be, but there are no Centerite zealots here, and it's a new market, and, well, I won't bore you with the details. Just come find me and we'll talk about the job. Spike out. And the image goes down.
Well, it looks like we have our next location.
Yeah. How's he gonna take to 3 non-geckos showing up?
Well, maybe we just explain the situation or say Gecko sent us.
Have you guys not met me? I could just make us look like the pictures in these photos.
Really?
Oh.
More explosions rock around the ship, and the computer says destination.
All right, Unity Station.
Setting destination. Calculating optimal route.
GM question.
On your command.
GM question. I can make other people appear to be I can.
Correct. You can use illusion to. You can either use illusion to make yourselves look differently to someone's perception, or you can actually just plant an idea using inception into someone's head that, even though you are not who they're expecting, that for whatever reason you're okay.
Guys, this is where I shine.
Yeah, these are not the droids you're looking for and all that.
Okay.
I love it.
All right, on your command, Captain.
Yeah, go.
All right, so you feel rumbling in the ship as the Aurelium drive emerges from the rear of the ship, and there's this momentary almost like pause as like you drift for a moment and the engine's cut out, and then suddenly you're shot back into your seat
Oh.
as the artificial gravity can't even compensate for the sudden thrust as the engine activates, and just there's a blur of light and you make the jump. And that is where we are going to leave off Act 1. Alabaster Throne.
We survived!
Yeah!
Yeah.
Episode
So,
1, down!
Yes, everyone will receive 30 character
Oh,
points to spend as you see fit.
yes.
And join us next time. Act 2, The Ghosts of Danube, will be the next exciting installment of the Alabaster Throne campaign. And thank you so much for joining us. Again, we're going to be sharing some information on the upcoming Kickstarter campaign to get more art, so that when Jess asks me, do we have a fun picture, I'll be able to say yes in the future. It would be nice. And again, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you're enjoying.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody!
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.